Tuesday started right. What's up, everybody? How you going? Hello, chat. Hello, members of the community. Are you ready for Tuesday market open? I know I certainly am. Did you see how we used that technical analysis yesterday to free the ship? The ship is free. We're feeling good, but I'll tell you what isn't good, and that is hyper stonks. Hypergrowth stonks got absolutely destroyed yesterday, guys. We're also seeing some pretty big movements down in gold, some pretty big movements down in silver, and it's all thanks to the US dollar. What do you guys think about today? Are you a bit scared or are you feeling good? How is everyone feeling? Let me know right now. Are you feeling good or are you feeling bad? Let me know in the chat right now. I'll just quickly chuck this link in. A few people mentioned that my Discord link is not working. Let me see here. Can some people just try this link out? Just let me know if that's not working for them. Just chuck it in there. Right. Should be through. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. Max says horrible. Broke. Stocker says good. Oh my God, best alarm clock. GM everybody. Good morning, Sheeble. How are you having it? AMC GME says J-Rock. Good. Beat good. My BTC is mooning. Good ape today. Stocks are all wasted. Feeling good. My stuff is staying even. Yes, well, it isn't staying even for everyone. So of course, gold had that close through our support. We analyzed this market, I think, pretty well together a few weeks ago. I missed gold yesterday because realistically, it wasn't that interesting, but we did see a close, and that close has led to further shorting pressure. So gold's now putting the pressure down on the 1680. I have a feeling, like, I don't know why it would stop right here. It's probably going to continue on its way down to the 1680. I'll probably look at silver more to find the bottom of gold. When silver hits maybe 24, gold will most likely hit around 1680. Then we'll have to see whether it bounces, creates structure, something like that. Remember, when you're looking at these charts, doesn't matter whether it's a stonk, whether it's a commodity, whether it's a Forex currency, crypto, really could be anything. When we analyze incredibly good support with huge amounts of buy wick potential, remember there was huge amounts of wicks here. Check this out, guys. Wick, 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 wick. It's just wicks everywhere. When that happens, what ends up going on? Well, the thing is that shows that there's huge amounts of buy momentum. You get a close underneath that level. What's that telling us? The sellers are absolutely firmly in control. They've taken the stop losses out and they're prepared to push it much, much further down. Much, much further down. Simon says, morning, Tom. Morning, Simon. Everything just feels too unpredictable at the moment, says Chronically Sam. There certainly is some unpredictability. I think there's been fairly decent predictability actually in the dollar index. I think we've been pretty good on this one. Pretty strong, pretty good. But yeah, this hyper stocks, just remember, the hyper stocks may need earnings reports to stabilize them. So it may not stabilize for some time, unfortunately. We'll find out. We'll go through the support and resistance of quite a few. Just quickly here, this is the story of the day so far, I think, which is US dollar. We've got Treasury yields also up 3% at a 1.76 rating. That's leading to a Nasdaq decline down to 12,876. But we've got US dollar 93.204 on the way towards the 94. I think this is a pretty big news story for stocks, for risk on, risk off, all of those types of things. Sal's wasting no time, says Christopher. That's absolutely true. Sal de Cristo coming in, starting the morning off correct. But I think he's probably a bit worried about ZG. Sal de Cristo, US $2.90. Could you do ZG? I think I'm in trouble. We'll do ZG for you, man. Let's just quickly load one up because we might as well do Zillow just to show the power of yesterday's move and why this morning and everything that happens today is so important. So pre-market looks like it's pretty flat. The main problem here is almost every one of these hyper stocks has come back into support. Now, there are a few ones that haven't. Square hasn't. Cloudflare hasn't. But others like TDOC have come right down. They've hit the level. Zillow Group here, hitting the same zone. It's time. It's now or never for these stocks, for these hypergrowth stocks to find buying support. Now, if they don't do it, and look at it right here. Yesterday was a bad close. Unfortunately, that could lead to even further sell-off. Now, if you check out Zillow here and you think about, okay, how do we figure out which zones that we should be interested in stocks like this for the longer term? It's actually in the right zone. So from the drop here, which is $17, it went up to $213. Even before the pandemic, $65 up to $213. So this was a hyperextension euphoric move. We've now taken that euphoria off. We've taken off all pretty much down to the November, December price point. So I'm not too concerned about this stock here. I hope it holds. Let's go down to the daily. And that's a horrible looking candle. You can see that last time, a huge amount of buy pressure. And I know why you think you're in trouble, because yes, if it breaks through here, you could be in trouble. Where's the next level for it? Is it 116? Is it more like $100 or 91? I mean, there's not much structure support. Once it gets through here, so the problem is a little bit at 122, and then you're talking down here. You're talking really, really, really low. So today's incredibly pivotal for ZG. It's incredibly pivotal for TDOC. It's incredibly pivotal for lots and lots of hyper stocks. And that's what makes the market sometimes interesting. But yeah, I don't believe they're really going to move until we get some type of earnings report. They might bounce, but they're not going to go back up into these highs, guys, anytime soon. It's going to be a while for recovery here. Let's have a quick look at IWM to help analyze where we think the markets are at. So we know that IWM bounced off this area. So it bounced right off the 207. This is the Russell 2000. I think it's probably the best market that we can look at for hyper stocks and trying to get an idea of whether we're finding support or not. Down yesterday, 2.81%. Currently pre-market only down 214.35. So while the Nasdaq is down, and I know it's down 0.83% right now, is it being led by the bigger positions, or is it being led by something else? Is it being led by the bigger, like, kind of stocks and not the hyper growth kind of positions? 0.02 down in the pre-market for IWM. This points to maybe we've found some support, because remember, I said before, TDOC hitting mega support really cannot go through here. If it does, it's all bad. Look, it's the exact same thing. It's even worse than Zillow. It's the November lows, the June, and get this, the 23rd of March highs. You're reading that correctly. It's literally taken off everything from March last year. That's where we're at with TDOC. March last year, during the heights of the pandemic, it hit this level. It was one of the only stocks that was going up. And even before that, it was at $88. So you're talking about just a doubling in a 4x year of growth. So it's a very interesting point. Now, of course, ARK are purchasing this thing out of control. ARK are purchasing this thing out of control. What do you guys think about these hyper stocks? Are you still bullish on these things, or are you starting to get a little bit bearish? Because when people are getting bearish, usually you want to go bullish. Now you'll notice TDOC getting purchased again. Look at this. Yesterday, look at this purchase. Another purchase of Twilio from the guys at ARK. DKNG, another purchase going through there. PayPal, all of their, even Spotify, they're selling everything. They're just like, you know what? Stuff everything we have. We are all in on the concept of Square, Twitter, Twilio, Tesla, TDOC. That's what we're doing. and PLTR. It almost is just becoming a concentrated fund of those stocks. What do you guys think about that? RK went from correlating with the QQQ to correlating with IWM. Pretty much, big man. Pretty much. Can you talk about a few other things here? Yep, we will, certainly. Focus like an ape, says Tequila Boost. I like that one. What about Viacom? Who is buying Tesla at 600 today? An opportunity of a lifetime. Harry the Tesla bull. He's here. Don't worry. Harry says opportunity of a lifetime at these affordable prices. He's saying discount bargaining is happening right now. Harry, good to have you here, man. Will DXY get rejected off the 50 EMA? Okay, there's a lot to cover today, guys. So we'll go through it all. But to answer that question about ZG, it's right on support. We have no bullish or bearish sentiment coming into the market here from that, other than, yes, the Nasdaq overall is down. So if we actually click on the US 100, it looks to be down. But what we'll do is we'll go into our pre-screener. Let's get the pre-screener up. Let's click on the down. Now, did you guys see Airbnb yesterday? We were talking about it on the stream. Woo! 4+% at 1.5% up. So it really found that big pressure buying. Let's have a look at the buy side here. So we've got Viacom, Bio and Tech, Ryanair Holdings. So more of these things. Surprisingly, Roku up 1.47%. Tencent Music, PayPal up 1.12%. Probably thanks to the movement in Bitcoin, which we'll be talking about very, very soon. Bitcoin looking incredibly strong. JP Morgan and Goldman rebalancing or rebounding. And then we go to the negative side. Of course, we've got Tesla targeting 600. Is it time to bring out the fence? Guys, are we going to put the fence down on Tesla today, or am I too scared to put it down? What do you think? Tesla opening 600. So around that dot point of literal, it is make or break here for Tesla. If Tesla gets through 600, I've mentioned it many times, 550, 500 coming. So it's very important that all of these hyper stocks hold that area. You got Teladoc opening at 169.53. It can't close there. We don't want no 169s. We need 170 plus for Teladoc. Someone, I think, just donated and talked about snow. We'll cover that in just a few moments. So there is a lot going on in the markets right now and a huge amount of movements in hypergrowth stocks. If we go through Palantir down 21.45, down 1.29%. If we think about what's happening with GameStop, 186. And then if we go with Riot Blockchain, Mara, etc., they're all doing quite well. But yet AMC only 0.58, a lot of steam being taken out of those. Look at this movement here, 12.858, down 1% almost in the pre-market. There's a big move coming through this pre-market. New low from the previous one, which was 12,870. US 500 now down 0.42% as well. So it's all happening. It's all happening. What levels are we watching today? I'm still going to be always down here in that 12.8 to 12.750 for the NAS. For strong purchasing, I would like to see it all happen around this 12.7. We've put the fence down before above 12.7 or around 12.7. I don't know if we'll have to do it today, but this would be very negative. If it keeps going down, it's very negative because what have we got now? We've got basically a series of lower highs. Now, we've had the lower highs for a while. A few people said, Tom, the lower highs are happening on the Nasdaq. Why are you ignoring it? I'm ignoring it only because at this stage, I'm focusing that horizontal support. But I'm not going to be very bullish at this level if it comes down here with this sequence of lower highs. This is so bad. It cannot continue to be like this. The NAS has to get a new high in it. It has to get a new high in it. If it cannot do so and it puts pressure on this, I'm incredibly scared for that level holding. And I could actually see us going and retesting down here. Because lower highs matter. It means a weakening of the market. Each rally is failing, and it's failing at a lower point. Think about the structure coming into an area. If you're buying here this time, okay, fair enough. I totally understand. If you're buying here this time, especially off things like that, strong buying wicks, yeah, fair enough. I understand. But if you're buying here on the right-hand side, it's pretty terrifying because you have a series of lower highs. You need that sequence to be broken. So ideally, it kind of pulls back here, breaks through, gets through that point. Then we can deal with that 13,176. Then we can deal with the 13,300. And then we can really move on to the next areas. But the bears look like they're currently in control of this market. And I think a lot of it is got to do with that dollar index. So a few people there getting super bullish on it. Unemployment is at 9%, says Bloodbath McGrath. So of course we do have unemployment jobs figures coming out later on this week. The little bits of news leading into that will be important. Make sure you get your economic calendar out. We do also have one point of amazing risk, and that is that the non-farm employment number is coming out when the market will be closed. Pretty rare, usually happens about once every 5 or 6 years. So it does not happen. Thomas Lav says only crypto is pumping. The pumptimentals are too strong. The pumptimentals, I like it, Thomas Lav. It's all going down. No one talks about the rent and the mortgage protection, and this ends in 2 days. Mass evictions and foreclosures coming. This is what Mike's saying there in the room. Way lower to fall, says John S. The Russell is better short than the Nasdaq. So the Russell, of course, much, much higher. Watch those lower highs. We'll leave all these on the chart. In fact, I'm going to make that yellow so we've got it all sitting there ready for later. Why is the VIX spiking? Dollar index, risk is off. And then, of course, on top of that, you've also got treasury yields rising again. So they're back at 3%. I'll just load it up. Here you can see new all highs here for the sequence of the treasury yields. Treasury yields still moving towards a point that I don't think matters. I think it's inevitable that they go towards the 1.952 area. We've talked about this several times. I think this is a pretty normal event, but it does knock around the Nasdaq a little bit, and people get very, very concerned about this. There's less concern because back here, remember, around this area here, the Nasdaq was getting throttled due to the rise in yields. Yet now we're at 1.76. The Nas is going down, but still holding its own a little bit. So clearly people are not scared by the movement as much anymore. It's not as fast, not as aggressive as they thought. Now we're going towards the 1.96 though. If 600 is a deal, he's going to rejoice when it hits 550 today, Tequila Boost says. People getting in on it here with Harry's one. So there you go, Harry. You can rejoice if it happens, if that goes down. Thanks again, Sal, for the $2.99. ZG right on support, must hold today. If it doesn't, actually hard to find out the next area for it. We'll have to probably use IWM and Nasdaq to really figure out the next levels. We've got Robert Boyton coming in with $2. Can you cover snow today, please? Bought in at the 221s. Good company, actually, Robert. Great, of course, earnings. Pretty high valuation. So we'll definitely check that out on the chart. Love the MTG sheet at the back, says Carlos. Yes, that is one, Carlos. Glad you enjoy it. Let's go over here to BTC because I know a lot of you guys love the BTC, love the crypto in the room. I've actually got a poll for the channel. I'm interested to see how many of you love the crypto a lot. We've got heaps of new members that have come in over the last couple of months, and I'm interested to create content that helps you all out. So of course, knowing where everyone's from and what they like is important. So these have been all our levels. Let's go down to the 4-hour and the 8-hour charts. So nice little flaggy that happened before. We can actually probably even go to the 2-hour here. So you'll notice nice little kind of movement down, flag, breakout, close. Now it goes towards 60,000. If it coils before, so let's say for some unknown reason, it kind of stops here and it starts coiling, it's going to smash 60,000 and continue up. Everything's really playing out within the lines. I mean, you'll notice here, these aren't revisionist history. We had these up for a long time. Well, this one actually was at 54. So we'll put that at 54. So 54 there. Then we had 57. This line here was just dealing with the previous resistance where we thought it might come back to. We had some strong buying off there, got through the 57, moved up, didn't quite get down to the 56. We only hit the 57 and was almost flat. Got around that 2-hour 20 and then bounced off. Some people would have picked up here. I don't blame them. But yeah, there's been some okay trades here in Bitcoin. The next move is all about the 60. And when we get through the 60, I don't think I really care about this left-hand side anymore. I'm going to draw it out. Get rid of it. It's gone. Get out of here. We don't need none of that. And the reason we don't need any of these is because this particular one is unlikely to be a huge level of resistance. It's only been a one-touch resistance. It's not really around a huge psychological. Like even if we bring it back, it's before 62. 60,000 was smashed last time. It's still the key area. And when it gets through, you would think 65,000 is in order. Now, I want to talk about this to crypto people a little bit. When you're trading crypto, guys, it's all about thinking about market capitalization. So that is, if you're trading crypto, you need to think, how big is it in comparison to the other coins that I'm trading? I really mean that. So many crypto guys come to me and they say, Tom, Cardano, $10. Cardano, $6. Cardano, $5. Mostly Cardano at the moment. The reason why you've got, or XRP 10 or something like that, you've got to think about logically, can it reach that size based on other things in the market? If you're getting Cardano to those numbers, you're taking it to $1 trillion or something like that. It's getting, or 10 times, so it'd be like 400, 500 billion dollars. Is that too big in comparison to everything else in the markets right now? Think about market capitalization before you make predictions on where something's going to go. It's a super important thing when analyzing altcoins. I really think that's super important. Can Bitcoin go to 100,000 this cycle? Yeah, I think so. In fact, where do you guys think Bitcoin is going? We did this a little while ago. Where do you think Bitcoin is going this cycle? So most likely this cycle ends somewhere around December, January of this year. Where do you guys think it will be by December, January? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll do snow in just a few moments. This is looking strong. 60,000 in the sights potentially for this session. If we get through, we move up. We possibly do something like this. Close above. Movement down quickly. Test 60,000 from the top down and go towards the 65,000. I think it makes a lot of sense to go to that next 5. Ethereum players and people out there, this is a very nice pattern. It's been quite strong as well. It still hasn't completed. Inverse head and shoulders on the Ethereum. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. This pretty much points to a movement up to those highs around 1930. And I still think Ethereum, if Bitcoin breaks to a new high, it's maybe time for Ethereum to get back above the 2000s. So I'm pretty bullish on the concept of this thing moving okay and becoming a better investment than it's been recently. DOT, having a quick look at that, still struggling around that 34 plus. This is actually a flag that's just broken through. You would have to think now DOT will continue to its move up, probably aiming for around 38. The point we've always had on this channel is a daily close above 38.20. That's all I'm looking for. I want that. So, yep, I have DOT. I have DOT in these areas here, and I'm interested in taking DOT to 38.20. But what I'm going to do there is I'm going to say, okay, do I want to continue hodling this coin? Maybe. But I also know that 38.20, it cannot close above this damn level. It just keeps rejecting it. So I would love to see a daily close above here to signify that we're ready for DOT to move to the next big high. And that could be $50, $55. It makes a lot of sense. We stopped at around that 40 because remember, it kind of got above 40, but really the closure points were around 40. So that means that the next move for DOT should be upwards of 50. Will it stop just before or just above? I don't know. None of us do. But what we do know is that there is going to be some big movement if it can get through this 38.20 plus, because it is just such a strong level for way too long. March, all of the level, and then Feb, it got up there the first time. So watch DOT, worthwhile having in your charts. Cardano continues to struggle around the exact same points. Go down to the 4 hour. Everything's looking pretty good. Nice little breakout that's occurring here. That 116 area has been amazing on our levels. So this was the correctly identified support, became resistance, became support. Little series of higher lows. And now I would love to have this 32 minutes. We'll come back here. 32 minutes 40. I'd love to have it close maybe above this wick. And then that signals that we can move back towards that 133 on Cardano and put pressure on the 147s. You guys would be pretty happy with that one, I think. Let's see what everyone thinks about the Bitcoin prices. 80K, says Philippe. 160,000, says Christopher Nell. Unlucky Gamer 69 says, I think it will go slightly over 100K. It's probably what I think as well. Thomas Love says 180K BTC blow off top this cycle. That is severe bull there, Thomas Love. I like the fact that you're so bullish on it. So that would make market capitalization over $3 trillion. I kind of feel like around that 2 trillion is going to be really, really tough to break, like 2.1, just because you think about market capitalizations, you have to put in, I know a lot of people say gold standard, but if you go to like AAPL, like Apple, you go to Microsoft, you go to those types of things, I still think around a 2 trillion this cycle would be where I'm kind of topping. I'm thinking around 2 trillion, which will be just around that 300,000 from GL Homer, very bullish from GL Homer. Bitcoin to 3,400, says John S. OXT and BAT real use applications. I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything there. 110K Eric Martin, and a lot of people going with the 100, 99,000 from Shane, 100. I think 100 is going to be so tough, and I really feel like it's going to stop like here. It's going to stop at like 98,000. I'll just chuck something out there. I'll go with $200. Why? No reason whatsoever. But because crypto knows everyone's going to sell at 100. The amount of big term hodlers that are going to sell at 100 may be extreme. It may be pretty extreme, I think. Yeah. Welcome to the 1,210 viewers, by the way. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. It does help us out. A lot of tech stocks are just lost with sideways movement, or they are just sliding. Yeah, they're certainly sliding at this point. Robert, let's do your snow. Then we'll go back into the crypto. Then we'll go through the markets, and we'll go through the pre-market. We are 2 hours away from market open. It's not too long now. Not too long till we find out the real pain train. 0.8% on US 100 Nasdaq down. 0.37 on US 500 has rallied a little bit from just before. So here's snow, and I put a top prediction. And my prediction was, with this one, and admittedly, I didn't even really look at the company that much at the time, but when it came out, a lot of people were going hyper at me. They'll say, Tom, I want to buy snow. Okay, they were looking over here and stuff, and all the way through this. My thought process is always, I have like a bit of a rule, and generally it's with new companies, I like to wait 12 to 18 months for them to actually settle. And what I mean by that, few earnings reports coming out, people getting confident in that stock, confident in the opportunity. And then after 12 to 18 months, usually I find with IPOs, they're kind of like here, and then you can look to pick them up. Look at Snap. Look at anything else. Let me show you Snap. There it is. High participation at the start. Not that many years later, basically 12 months later, hits that $5. Everyone questions whether it's any good, and it's different. Now, the difference in Snow is it's not a social media platform. So that seems to be pretty consistent with social media platforms trying to convert to monetary needs. Now, the market didn't seem to understand a lot of those things over time. You've bought this one, it sounds like at $221, and I can totally see why. So look at all this weekly congestion here. Let's go down to the daily. Okay, let's go to an 8 hour, not an 8 hour chart. Let's go to a 4 hour chart. So the good news for you is you actually haven't hit a low. So you're well off the low, even being down 4.9% yesterday to 223. It went to 206. So this is one of the actual stocks where the market is not back down the low. For TDOC, it's back down the low. For ZG, it's back down the low. Other stocks are there. What I'm looking for is a 240 break high, and that will really signal the bottom is totally in for Snow, and the movement should only be relatively bullish moving forward. Okay, so 240, you want to have that on your charts. There's no doubt. Look how good it is. Whoops, we don't want that. Get rid of that thing. Nasty horizontal ray. There we go, horizontal line. So that area there, closure points, previous support, really strong, 240, 241. It's a great area. If it closes above, it's very strong. The good news as well is around this 223, 221, there's a little bit of previous purchasing. There's even more purchasing at 216 if it gets there. I'm not bearish on it at this price point right now, but I would love to see it above 240. Things that you're looking for in today's session. Well, firstly, of course, green. But if it comes down a little bit, and it comes down a little bit more, and then it bounces up, especially when it makes this new high, it's most likely going to smash the 240, 241. it's going to do the trough, the peak, the higher trough, and then the higher peak. So the sequence that you want when it comes to investing into the long term. And yeah, I mean, look, there's not that much you can really be looking for other than if it does open down, it rebounds and closes bullish, because you're in the middle of the structure. You're not at the low yet. You're not that 210 area. You're not at the 240. Continue to watch this structure. It may settle for some time. If it does, and you're prepared to hold with the diamond hands, then that'll be okay. New member here, Sarah Jane. Welcome to the Stonk Squad. Welcome to the community. Thank you so much for joining up. And salute to you, and as good luck today. I hope, of course, it's a green day for you and all members in the rooms right now. Bloodbath McGrath says Oracle. That is not a word I've heard in a while, Bloodbath. No one ever talks about Oracle anymore. No one ever talks about Oracle. Not sure. Let me see why this mini feed has stopped loading my stuff. Oh, that's weird. Not sure what's going on there. Anyway, guys, thank you to the 1,325 people coming out here. Tequila Boo says, with PayPal customers, we'll have to convert, not the news we may think. Are you talking about PayPal and crypto? 150K, PayPal just said US customers can make payments with cryptos. So it'll probably be just something where you would take, let's call it fiat, and then you would move the fiat into crypto, and then you would pay for it in crypto. Possibly something like that. Or maybe, do they implement a full wallet? If they do, and that's what they're doing, then it'll just be alongside it. I mean, it's big news regardless as being accepted. It's not the first time. I mean, you remember Steam also allowed you to buy games using Bitcoin, and then they took it away after that because they said it was too volatile. Not sure what they'll end up doing. Cardano is useless, says JJ Crypto. BTC to 85K on April, says JVL. So that's a pretty strong number for April. Is LTC dead? I took it off my charts the other day. I brought it back on because someone wanted me to. Is LTC dead? Guys, what do you think in the community? Is this coin the new Doge? It's just not so good. It's not so bad. It's been around forever. Is it actually useful as a crypto anymore, or has it been superseded? What are your thoughts? I think that LTC still has tradability, but not much. And when it did this, and it failed to hold this level here, you guys know I hated it for that, because I think that this type of thing should hold, and I'm done with it for some time until a level like that holds. There's better technical patterns out there. ADA, DOT, Ethereum of the big ones, Bitcoin, they're all so much better technically. Like LTC is like the poor cousin that you buy just because it's cheap and you want to own one of the coins with your $200 or $300. And you can only own a 0.00000 something of a Bitcoin. I don't see this as being great anymore. Whoops. Litecoin, too boring, says Thomas Love. Big man says dead. LTC is the new LTC, says Bitbird 1.8. Boomer coin, Big man says. It's a boomer. It's the boomer coin. There we go. Wow. BTC will be 69,420 by May, says Mario. Interesting one. Broker Stocker says, add everyone, remember to hit the like button. Thank you very much there, Broker Stocker. No wallet, Litecoin yet. Boring, dead. They already solved F2.0 at the hackathon. F2.0 is glorious. And once that's sorted completely and it all comes through and it's all good, then we can move towards the next level. So I guess that's the case for ADA not being as big as people think. Welcome to the 1,359 viewers. We've already got so many in the room, only 37 minutes into the stream. What's the stories right now? Well, that US 100 is coming down fast. It's back down to 0.92%. Here it is. Key levels, we'll be looking around that 12,800, 12,750 throughout the session. That's where the bears could push it down to. If they do, expect some buying pressure. But I'm still thinking the big issue here is going to be this series of lower highs. If we continue to see these series of lower highs and it's unable to boost through 13,000, which is their very strong resistance, that is not going to be good for the NAS and not going to be good for many things. I mentioned in today's video, I'm really looking at this. This is the FANG chart inside of TradingView. By the way, if you like TradingView or you're interested in it, click on the link somewhere in the description below. And of course, you can follow it there and get access to it all and all that stuff. And if you end up buying something, does help out us at no cost to you. Should probably put that in the chat actually for today. A few people ask me what is this program, etc. Almost every single stream. Here's the supports that have been coming through. Now, do I like this chart? No. What is this? It is the long leg doji. The long leg dojis. I saw someone has to take a shot because I said that. Long leg doji, long leg doji. All right, that's 4 shots. Someone's playing a shot game when I do it. Here is the level, and it's the 20 exponential moving average, the red chart. And every time it's doing this, it's basically telling us that the market has literally zero idea what the FANG is worth. It doesn't know whether it's bullish. It doesn't know whether it's bearish. And this is a serious time frame. This is the weekly time frame on the charts. It has no idea what it's doing. So we have to then trap the market within a range and say until we get either below here or above here, we have actually no direction from the market. We have no direction long and we have no direction short. So bullish or bearish. 42,000, 4,200 or 4540. I've mentioned how I'm going to be looking at the daily close here. I actually think the daily close could just be anything above this 45 kind of 20 area or 45.15. And down in the bear zone, 42, a closure below that, that's going to expose some serious shorting potential. Because at that point, what you're really saying is we've got the inverse here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and actually quite a large sell-off occurring. And let's see if it proofs. We haven't done a proofing in a while. Let's see if this proofs. Let's see if that nasty Wall Street guys proofs okay. So I think 3,800 is the next stop if it closes under here. And I mean that. I mean it's going to be bad. So if the bears take full control of the FANG and they push it under 42, Wall Street's going to be out for blood. They're going to push it to 38. And you better have that on your chart and you better be prepared, because if they're going to do that, it's why you want a little bit of the powder. You got to keep the powder in the background. And when you have it, then you will be ready for things like 3,800 if it ever does occur. At this stage, that is not what we're seeing. But yeah, the FANG should be watched under all pretenses. Very important chart to have here. Truly says this chart is lost, man. This is lost. This has absolutely no idea what's going on. I agree. Completely lost. Look at the weekly again. No idea. Absolutely no direction. But at least we know above, we trigger much, much higher. Below, we trigger quite a lot of shorting. The good news is that when that happens, we'll have the opportunity to actually take advantage of very large moves. And we also need to know that day traders can be sharp and nimble between these zones. Because if you're shorting down here and you're thinking, oh, it's going to easily get through 4,200, it's not. You would be an insane person to actually hold a short through that unless you have strong conviction based on the level of support that it's finding. Tesla will do it very, very soon. Let me just make sure I'm caught up here. Welcome to the 1,442 viewers for Tuesday market open as well. Shire, US $2. Look at the 4Us. How's it look? Let's load up the 4Us. Energy fuel cells. How does it look? Down 6.72%. Pre-market 1.23% up at this stage. Okay, how is this looking? Let's take a look here. Daily. Okay. 576 in the pre. Here we go. Look, it's doing something. When you got so much structure and so much noise on the left-hand side, it really does make it a lot harder. So it bought off this level, after that kind of flash movement. It then moved up on the 26th and it came back down. I think we've done this one for you before. And I mentioned that the only strong supports that you have is, you've got really strong support through the 5, which is psychological zone. Then for some reason, the 550 seems to be a thing. And then you notice here around that $6 acted as resistance. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's not bad. It's completely neutral. So are you bearish on it here, I guess, or bullish on it? I would be literally neutral and I would have no clear direction on what's going on. That is a complete coin flip guess, other than to think that it's most likely going up purely just based on the fact that it is a stock that is pretty much going to go up over time. It's also in an uptrend. Those types of things point to bullish movement. Big, strong support at 5. Very, very strong there. I expect a lot of buys, and I still expect buys all the way through this area. 2 hour, how does it look? Yeah, look, it's fine. Big bulls come back in around 620. So I would have an alert there if I was in this stock. And I would say if it gets through 620 again, which we know is a resistance over here, you can move towards 7. You can move towards the 8 areas. Good luck, Shire. Appreciate the donation. Carol Kuziniski, PLN, $10. Hello, RKT and apps, please. Peace. Okay, we can do that. 7:30 in the morning. 7:30 in the morning for Americans, yes. I think now it's probably a little bit later than that. GME going to pop today on Ryan's new hires. Let's have a quick look at GME, AMC. We'll load them up. We'll see what's going on with the levels. Yesterday was pretty disappointing. Oh, here it is. Yesterday was pretty disappointing with them. So GME is up 3.7%, $1 or 188. Here we move up in the green, and AMC up 0.39. So what are the important zones for GME and AMC? Well, it's interesting this 173 made a resurgence for being a buy level. So it's again made a resurgence with those previous little wicks coming off here with a buy level. We clearly have our 199-200 resistance, and we know that on significant time frames such as the 4 hour, we need a close above. Now, if we get a close above, what can that signal? It signals the movement towards 250, towards 300, those types of levels. If it fails again though at 200 and then shorts back through the 173, then you're going to 120 and that eventual big support, which is going to be at 90. So there are really key levels here on GME. $200, 173 has resurged again as the key support in the minors, so a minor support. If it closes below there, you're moving towards 120. If it closes below 120, we know where it goes, $90. Every single time it's gone to the $90. And then $90 has been pretty strong purchasing. Strong purchasing here after those initial sell-offs. Strong purchasing after that massive sell-off initially, and even strong purchasing the first time when it went up to 160 and then went all the way back down. So these are the chart numbers that I would have sitting on my analysis in GME. AMC will follow it. It's sitting between that $10 range and the $11 range. A closure either side, you know what happens. Down below, 9, up above, 12. It's really that simple on AMC GME. It trades like basic human psychology. All right, let's do RKT here. Natasha says GME and AMC, not disappointing for me. I'm happy with the green gains. Well, I guess 0.29. I'm not sure if that's enough for AMC holders. You guys are used to like 10, 12%. GME is up 4,000 this year, but I feel it could do better, says John Sparrow. Yeah. Well, it could do better because it's been better. That's why. I love the unrealized gains, says the Ali McManus. I bought into GameStop along the way from $17 to $189, helping to hold the line, says Natasha Rawls. Let's all buy the FANG. We can't let techs fail. They're not going to fail. They're just going to have, unfortunately, some bigger pullbacks if they get through those zones. GME to 420 today, says Bloodbath McGrath. Low volume. Yes, it's the pre-market, so it's going to be low volume here. Okay, let's do that RKT. Ethereum, look at it go. New high here coming through. Look at it. Nice. 5 minute. I want to have a new high on Ethereum. We'll do this chart very soon. We'll do Tesla very soon. Let's go over to RKT. Up today, 1.26%. Is RKT any good? This one here is from Carol. Yesterday had a nice movement up to 27, then failed and moved all the way back down to 24. We know that around these two levels, we have a support. And that is, effectively, we have some form of support around this 24-ish. Previous weeks, little bit of gap, sell down, body, buying pressure, etc. And then underneath that, around those highs here. So they would be the two kind of levels that I would have in my charts. And I'd just say somewhere in this zone, Rocket seems to be finding support. We always knew it would after that initial crash through. Yesterday's candle is pretty bad. It's not going to give me any kind of like, oh, I feel great about this candle. I think that's awesome and I want to buy it. That's a bad candle. It rejected. Does it go up today? I think with a movement like this and that volume spike, because see the volume is higher here, maybe it has a resurgence. Let me just see if it is resurging on the discussion boards. Let me just see how it's resurging here for you guys. Today it's Amarin AMC again, AMC Networks, or AMCX, sorry. PayPal is very, very popular. BioC, NUX, which is New Cipher, SPCE, will go through the whole space kind of position soon. And most active, Rocket's not in there, so it's not in the discussion points today. Look, I think it's a hover zone for it. If it did get that interest in it, it probably will have another little burst, and at some point may go up to like the $27-ish again. Be very, very careful with it though. It's unlikely to sustain any of those levels. Next one was APPS, Digital Turbines, I believe. Go to the daily. Coming right down to support. Go to a line chart here, try to clean it up a little bit. There you go, 4 hour. 5.72% down yesterday, 1.12%, 75.3. Look, it's on support. I don't like this. This lower high here doesn't fill me with confidence, especially when it comes back down. I would have preferred that it does like the normal lightning bolt, so it moves up, has a pullback that's not that deep, and then moves up again, rather than coming back down and testing the support again. Remember, you don't really want it to test the support again if it can help it. Probably make or break for it in the next couple of days. Resistance became support, buy zone, buy wick, an anomaly candle during that flash. Buy again, movement down. If I was looking at where I get more bullish on this, it's going to be around this 78.40. And at that zone, once it closes through there, it would be signaling the bottom's in, and we can be part of the participation phase up to 90. There's still $12 there if it was to occur. And they're the more predictable things. Remember, when you're trading, it's not so much about, oh, I bought the cheapest price or anything like that. It's about where is the highest participation phase statistics. And it's going to be somewhere around that 78.41 to 90 area. And that's going to reprice pretty quickly. But that's the area that people like the Wolf of Wall Street and other big traders and other people in the past and future and everywhere like to be part of, the participation phase in the markets. HOFV will do fantasy, football, gambling, sports gambling, NFTs, and it's a resort, John Sparrow says. That's a lot of things to put together there with one. So this is the Hall of Fame. Look, I kind of find sometimes these stocks go hard and there's all this euphoria about, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do everything. But in the end, it just does nothing. And it reminds me kind of like crypto in 17, crypto even now, and certain coins. There's a lot of concepts that sound great. even we've seen that recently with other stocks that have gone bullish and then it falls as a flop. Always try to cut through it. Is this a company that I think will go like up here to $20 and then hold it? Probably not. It's going to be a wild ride, and it might have, because the NFT runs at the moment, it might continue to run up. But yeah, things like $10, things like psychological points, they are going to act as resistance. So don't fall in love with the fundamental story. Fall in love with the concept of where are you going to get out and how is it trading through that move. Because yeah, that's the thing. Palantir, please, says Hamineshu. We'll do it soon, don't worry. We haven't even done Tesla yet. Man, you guys love an NFTs so much. It's funny. I can't believe how much you love them. Must be those sweet things. All right, let's have a look here at Tesla. Just remember, with NFTs, most of them will become, if you're buying them individually, they'll become worthless. It's the first bull market in NFTs. So NFTs will play like this. There'll be huge amounts of euphoria where everything's crazy, it's all great, every announcement's bullish across the board, and it will crash. And then only 3 to 5% of them will be worth anything. And then next time round, then you'll get the more genuine kind of versions of them, the second cycle. Then you'll get the third cycle, and the third cycle will be where it's mainstream. So usually what I like to do is I like to see the first cycle, movement down. When everyone thinks they're crap, then you get involved, and then you can take the second cycle and the third cycle, etc. There will be cycles, I believe, in NFTs. Let's have a look at Tesla here. So we're at the pre-market 599. You got to hold 600 today, guys. And we're going to put down, I think we're going to have to put down the fence early to try to hold this thing above 600. What do you guys think? I think we need to hold the line. We're going to have to draw the fancy on this one. We have to get out every single gun, because there is no way that you want Tesla under 600. If it gets under 600, the psychological is broken as well. And at that point, I mean, this is already incredibly negative. The chart is horrible. It's making a series of lower highs. Pretty much everything is pointing towards further shorts. So even though there's some little rejection wicks here at 600 with buying pressure, it needs to get new highs. Like, we need to move towards 640, break that, and then get back into the structure. And if we can't do it this week, unfortunately, I think Tesla is going back down to the 550s and then potentially even the much, much lower area, which is round here, 450, 500. This is the structure that I think Tesla will stop out if it continues falling. What do you guys think? What are your predictions for Tesla moving forward? Let's hear it from the community right now. Bitcoin might hold up Tesla, says Johnny Bravo. Liam says GME is going to moon with the new Amazon executive. GME going to that moon. Frank says, okay, I'm back now. What did I miss? Are we rich now? Not just yet, Frank. Not just yet. Rob says he only shops NFTs for shrooms. Adam trades US $4.99. Can you have a look at CIDM, direct to purchase of 56K shares at 201, and also empathy play of CSCW with NFT news this morning. A few people want AMD as well. We'll check that out. Charlie says, I'm a legally blind graphics designer about to sell NFTs on Super Rare. I'm pumped. Good luck, Charlie. If you want to share it, I will show the NFTs that you're looking at. Why not? We'll check them out. Since you're the first one that's making an NFT here. So yeah, I could see 450, 500 for Tesla if it can't hold the psychological today. Slothbag says, appreciate the streams, my guy. No worries, dude. Here, the support lies. We'll get the trend out later. It's looking bearish. So it must hold today. There's no little 1 hours or anything I can really say that looks good about it. I mean, even here on the 1 hour, look, 20 moving average. It's just keeping it down even. From that last movement of 675, it's continuously sold off it. So even if you move up today, what problems are you going to have? You're going to have problems right through this area here, 619, 620. Once you get through there, it's looking okay. It's looking better. But you've got so much work to do. It's going to need that bullish pressure coming through for it. We are down 0.89% for the Nasdaq in the morning, led by US Treasury yields 1.75 and dollar index, US dollar risk is off 93.17. Important to watch those and know the synergies between the dollar and other things. We've got 1,630 viewers here. Thank you so much for coming through. Look at the likes, lol, says Christopher Cardenas. Let's have a look at the likes. 425. We're not quite at 500 yet. Guys, get us to 500. You guys know what that means. It's intro time. It's time to get hyped for Tuesday. People are going nuts on NFTs. Broke Stocker says, at Tom, Tesla is going to 450, 500, then bounce up to 800, 900 again before it's breaking the $1,000. There we are. Let's go back to that donation here from Adam Trades. CIDM. Supposedly, this particular one was purchased, 56,000 shares purchased by the director at 201. Ask the question here, why did he purchase them? Is that a normal purchase? Or is it like an option that he had to take as being a CEO, something like this, or director got it as a payment? Why did it occur? Very, very important to know that type of information. Look, it's at support, pre-market 160, so at least it's up 2.56%. Huge level at 140. I'm sure you don't want it back down there. This doesn't look good. It looks real bad. Probably need to get above 160 at all costs, maybe 163. I'm going to draw through that. Yeah, I would want this. I hate this level right now, and I want it above 162, 163 stat to really solidify that we are no longer in this what's been a pretty aggressive downtrend, really poor support. I would like to see a close today well above 162. Otherwise, this was all setting up for $1.40 because it looks really bearish on this chart, Adam, unfortunately. Then we've got CSCW, Color Star Technology, supposedly NFT news, moving this one up 58.21%, $2.11. News coming out on NFTs. Okay, so it's playing with the resistance of $2. Market capitalization is always important to know. So this one's really small, 38 million. And because it's 38 million, if you get enough hyperactive, crazy people buying it, they can push it quite hard because it's actually not that much money and probably not that much traded volume. Why did it stop at 2? Makes sense. Previous resistance back in July. Now resistance here in March. Look how strong that $2. Oh my goodness, that $2 is insane. Look at it. Support, support, support. Resistance, resistance. That's crazy, guys. The crazier news, though, is if it gets through, this particular stock has moved pretty heavily throughout time. So it's actually moved upwards of 4. Will 3 stop it? I don't even think 3 matters. 250, 260. If the hype's real and it gets through, because of the size and how small it is, if there is enough hype and there is enough excitement, you could even move towards 4. It's a gamble play. You guys know what this is. It is a very, very, very scary NFT position. And therefore, if it gets through 206, it might just blast through lines. $4 is another technical resistance, but that's maybe pie in the sky stuff. Thank you so much, Adam. Good luck. TTT Rock says NBA Top Shot literally made 10 million off the 229 pack drop. Yeah, a lot of people are making money off all these things right now. So quite a few stocks getting included in the ARK fund. We've also got Garrett Self donating $5. I'll talk about the ARK fund first. He says, though, good morning. I am ready reading a book on Elliott Wave principles. Any thoughts on Elliott Wave principle and how it can be applied to TA? Thank you. Yeah, look, I think Elliott Wave has a good place for longer term sentiments and waves that way. It's quite difficult actually to use Elliott Wave and day trade and swing trade because you're always in cycles and you can get quite confused about which cycle you're in and which wave pattern that you're in. So I prefer, when you're talking about Elliott Wave, to use it on a larger time frame, ideally larger time frame. 4 hours closed here on BTC above 59, by the way, quite strong. Not too much of a fan of using on smaller time frames. I would suggest if you're going to focus on it, you like it. I'm not a big fan myself. Bigger time frames whenever possible to give yourself sentiment. David B says, I know there's no TA on the new ARK fund to do on it. That's true because we have no information, but I do have thoughts that ARKX releasing today. I think it's a real smart choice of stocks, very safe compared to most of ARK. So I'm not sure if it's really safe. It's just that we've seen the ramifications of being in hyper stocks. So pre-market here on SPCE. Now I know this isn't a big purchase. Let me load up the purchases that have been put through. Let me just grab this up for you guys now. I did have it ready. Damn. I've now misplaced my damn holdings. Almost got it. That's not the one I wanted. Here we go. I got the fact sheet. All right, let me download this. There we go. Okay. All right. So we've got the fact sheet up. So these are the big holdings that are coming through. And strange holdings in some ways for the fact sheet. How does it look? So basically an 8.3% weighting in Trimble and then 3D printing. So this is for the ARK Space Exploration and Innovation ETF. So look, there is some still big gains in a lot of this industry. 3D printing is an interesting one because it was meant to take off all those years ago and then it really failed to do so. What do you guys, what's your favorite position that ARK's putting in the space fund? Do you guys like this one or not? Let me know right now and we'll go over some of them, I guess. We'll go over some of them. Opal says Baidu. We'll have a look at Baidu soon. So JD, Trimble, 3D printing, Kratos, L3 Harris. This is the ARK fund, of course, that's launching. And what they were thinking, they're adding different ones to it. What do you like the most out of those? 3D printing isn't weird for space at all if you get it. No, I get 3D printing. What I think is, when I say it's weird, I mean, it's weird that it didn't take off as much as people expected. Like you look at 3D printing stocks years ago, go have a look at their history. It's insanely bullish. It's insanely bullish. So my thoughts are, it's okay. I mean, at least the fund doesn't really, it's kind of like the fund makes a lot more sense to me than I thought it would. I thought they'd be going for, because it's innovation still and things like that, I think it's okay. I used to think, and I was looking at it going, oh, well, if you go all this Virgin Galactic stuff and all those types of things, hey, those positions, they're not going to make money fast enough. But the ones they chose, they make a lot more sense. They make a lot more sense. Got a donation coming in here from Kurt Greenway, US $9.99. Thank you so much, Kurt. Says, love the show, learning a lot. Can you take a look at 3Es NF? Certainly will. Certainly will. I'll have a look at Baidu soon as well for you people. We need to do this. BA, AMD. Yeah, I get it. Aerospace ETF marketed as space ETF. Yeah, I think that's right. Did they add SPCE? Well, interestingly enough about SPCE is I think it is on there. However, they clearly aren't that bullish. I mean, Chamath sold like all his holding in it and then claims he still loves it. That's a bit questionable, I think. And then at the same time, you've got Kathy Wood really downgrading her thoughts on it. You notice in her interviews, what does she say? I like Elon's company. I like companies she can't get hold of. She doesn't usually talk too much about SPCE. I don't really think that she's super bullish on it. I really don't think she's bullish on it. John S says, I'm going to short ARC X 4 hours into open. That's a promise. John is going with the short instantly 4 hours after the open. So you're going to short it off that big move coming through. Let's do your donation here, Kurt, and then we'll have a look at some stuff that's in ARC X and see whether they are at good levels to be purchasing. 88 Energy. Can we have a look at it? So, didn't we already do this one for you the other day there, Kurt? And I think I looked at this and I was like, wow, it's an OTC, so it's really, really hard. I think you were asking me the question of whether it's coming into, was it Australia or something like that? 88 Energy here, it's a very tough TA because of the trade in the OTC. Market capitalization, 400 million. Everything looks fine from a bullish perspective. I mean, you've got your series of higher lows, which is good. And that's really all you can go off in terms of the chart that I have here. Has it broken above these little resistance wicks? Yes, it has. That's also good. You do want that, Kurt. And then will it continue its move up to 0.06, 0.03? 0.03 has been cleared. 0.06. And where was this? How high did it go? So it actually went to point. I'm not sure if that's fake price, though. That could be fake price. Look, higher lows coming through. Probably go down to a 2 hour. Follow the 20 exponential moving average here. I noticed that was finding a little bit of support. And just keep following it up. As long as it continues this trend, Kurt, it's all good. All green, all good. What was the one that people liked? Oh, yeah, Lockheed. I want to do Lockheed. Nij is in. Thank you so much for joining the community. Appreciate that. I'm not sure why all of my things are broken today, guys. Let me just see if this works. Wow, it's not coming up at all. I'm too scared to close it, but I do get all of your alerts and donations. I just don't think they're triggering. So Niji's in. Welcome to the Stonk Squad. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it very much. Tom, 88E. 88E.AX. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, okay. That looks way better. Damn, that looks so much better than the OTC. Okay, there we go. Thank goodness. Well, that trend was completely busted. That looks way better. Super strong on the move here. Follow this one. Probably want to go, yep, 2 hours still is the best move. See, one retracement, two retracements. Only be concerned when it closes underneath that. Targets. Oh, thank God. This chart's so much better and actually real. 0.0043. So there is real price. I think 0.05 is going to have lines. When you're trading a penny stock or a smaller stock, remember it's all about where are the bid lines at. And if the bid lines, there's going to be huge amounts of sells at 0.05. You need to get through that wall and then you can move to the next wall. The next wall is going to be 0.06. So keep following by the 2 hour, 20, and you will have a little bit more luck on this one. Elita SEC $10. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I do appreciate it. Don't worry, we'll do PLTR. I know you've got it there. Chamath had a margin call, said Mario, but did he buy back in? Did he buy back in? He might have a margin call, but will he get back into it? BTC up 3%, 59,224. I see that one there, Donkin Dave. Kratos and Lockheed. Yeah, I think Lockheed interests me a little bit here. Let's have a look at that one. Lockheed Martin. This is included in the ARK X fund. Series of lower highs, that trend line all the way down. Absolutely obliterated the last 2 weeks. Very strong signals here for Lockheed. That's a huge break close above. Now, it's moving only 0.22% in the pre-market. Moved 2.22% yesterday. But check this out. This is a classic case of a market that was in decline. You look at the March, you look at the January period, and of course it didn't do too well out of that election result. That wasn't super bullish. But yes, it's doing quite nicely now, and that's a strong breakout close above 373. I don't mind this one, and I do think that it's doing all the right technicals. Things to move or look out for in the future. Could pull back, find some support, and then buy through. That's certainly something that may happen. But yeah, strong break from a trend line. Look towards the 400 as the resistance line. That's going to be the next level for this stock. Starship will probably be taking humans to space before SPCE, says Phil C. Let's do PLTR for the community. Palantir. What is going on with this stock? Wow, it is so unfortunate, isn't it? So unfortunate. Palantir continues its decline, and it's just not looking great. It's not looking great. 21.42. There's no bullishness. We've got our absolute low here in the 20s. I don't see why it would bounce off 21.42. There's no structure there. There's no real anything. A little bit of buying here and here, I guess. Just you could go off as a whim and a hope. But I like something a bit more tangible. So I'm thinking like $20, unfortunately. And then we need to get above 24 before I become bullish on this. I'm actually completely neutral bearish on this until we get above 24. And I have been, unfortunately, since these closes over here. That was the end for me in this one for now. I'll get back into the concept of it around 24. Structure is down. Palantir not strong on the charts whatsoever. Doesn't mean it's not a good company and you can't have sentiment towards it though and have faith. It's just it doesn't look strong on the charts. I mean, you can see this downward sloping trend line that happens on the 1 hour. You can see it's really, really weak until it breaks through this. Look, you could go all the way down here. It just keeps flailing. It needs to do better. Have that trend line on. I would suggest that is a good point to be checking out. Cold Steel coming in with a US $10 donation. Can you check out COS? So COS is a squeeze stock. Up 6.7% in the pre, 22.62. So COS we've looked at a few times on the channel. Seems to be up, down, and all over the place at the moment. See all that trade that's going on here. Bigger volumes kind of spiking through, though it is losing. So firstly, I would say it's losing volume spiking. So the volume is a lot less. COS has spiked a few times before. So there was the original spike, then there was a spike past 30, then there was a spike up to 40, and now we are around here. Let me draw my level, which is this zone here, $21 flat, currently trading $22.62. Am I bullish or bearish this position? You're going to need GameStop, firstly. If GameStop can't come with you, it's unlikely COS will get it done. A close above 26 is going to trigger, of course, your $32+ It's actually going to move fairly quickly, I expect, as well, up to that point. So close above 26, worthwhile having on your chart there, Cold Steel. In the 24 area range, there is also some resistance, and 22.55 is middle of nowhere land. It's no clear direction. We don't want it underneath around that 21, so you don't want it underneath 21 ideally, but 22.55 is in the middle. 24 is the resistance for today, I would feel, and then 26, a close above, will start the rocket ship back up to 32. It's just about clearing areas, clearing those lines, getting the hype back in and moving to the next direction, because you won't have many sellers on the charts, at least until 32. So that's my thoughts on cost. Thank you so much for the donation and your continued support of the stream. I do appreciate that. AMC dropping hard, I've heard just then. Let's have a look. Is it dropping hard? Guys, 1040 to 0.68% down. Oh, sorry, 0.68% up. I'm not sure if that's dropping hard. Maybe you just did it to make me look. AMC will drop harder if they dilute the shares soon. It certainly will. And that's your big problem with most of these positions. If GME do some kind of capital thing with the shares, if AMC do some type of capital thing with the shares, thing with AMC, a lot of directors been selling it as well. A lot of insiders selling that one. HOFV long term. Hall of Fame Resort Entertainment. Long term. Go back to the month. Pretty new. Is it good long term at this price? I have no idea. $562 million market capitalization. It's not huge, so anything's possible. As I said, my thought on NFT is if you're going to get inside it and trade it right now, you got to be in and you got to be out. Have an entry and have an EE exit plan. We need an entry and an exit plan. In the longer term, when eventually it all lines out, the euphoria comes off and it crashes. And it will. It'll crash. Mark my words, it will crash. And everything will decline on it. And it will become a figment of everyone will forget about it. And that's when you'll want to swoop in if you believe in it longer term. It happens in crypto markets. It happened in the weed market. It happened in the 3D printer market. Happened in the dot-com bust. I could predict, it's not even making a bold prediction. It will crash based on the euphoria we're seeing it in. So you have to have an entry and an exit plan. Would I say it's all about trading in NFTs? Yes. Guys, what do you think? Do you think NFTs are a trade or an investment right now in the market? You can disagree with me. That's fine. Charles says, how do I contribute? Can you take a look at RTX? If you want to contribute, you can super chat, man, or you can join the community. Click the join button wherever it is. I don't even know. I think it's not on the apps. I don't know why that is. I think YouTube don't want to pay the 30% or something. HOFV might be BTC at 15 bucks, says Opal. Could be. Maybe you can put like a portion in it and hold it over that period if that's what you feel. I mean, I don't think it's going to be BTC, but it certainly could be a longer term one. Rob Schwartz says, NFT not for Tom. NFTs are a fad. NFTs are trash, says Shane. NFTs are a gamble, says Michael. NFTs are a boon for artists. Both. Neither. NFT a straight up gambler right now. Yeah, straight up gambler. Fickle, pump and dump. Wow. Are a trade / investment, says Thomas Love. I think they're a trade right now and an investment in the futures. You know those crypto punks, NFT punks or whatever they're called, crypto punks. Those things, there will be some that are actually worth something in the future. You watch. What will happen is they'll die. They'll become worth a really little amount of money. And then the OG gangster ones, like anything in scarcity, if NFTs pull off in the future and become really, really glorious, at that point, the punk will be worth something. Mark my words. It's like Charizard 1 in cards. It's like, I'll get some... I really want to talk about collectibles on the channel one day. Are you guys interested in collectibles? The psychology is fascinating. I collect a few things that are graded, and I can tell you, it is one of the most interesting markets, and it has so many correlations to the stock market, to the crypto market. Everything that happens in collectibles, in graded collectibles, is the exact same thing that happens in the stock market. It is pumpy, it is dumpy, it is the exact same things. You're a no punker, Tom, says Triple T Rocks. Tesla going the way of the moon today, 10 kilometers. Did you guys see that Tesla S, by the way, can do under 1.99 for what, the 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in Australia? Pretty phenomenal stuff. I'm being won over, guys. I might own a Tesla in the future. They're just too expensive here. Collectibles are awesome. Genius, please, brother, says King Kong. Please. I'll tell you what. I'll do your Genius brands because I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. I do. I want to do the Genius brands. You've been asking it way too much. 2.17% down, 0.96 at the pre-market. Okay, there's the monthly. Been some pumpy dumpy there. 1 week. Looks okay. Nice series of higher lows coming through. 1 day. This is the 1 day chart. Resistance met at 3. We've done this one a few times, I believe, for people here. So $3 is reached. Okay, found resistance. Makes total sense. 4 hours. Now we see what's going on. We see the true market here. Okay, that is a straight up trend line you need to watch, and you need to be very careful. This thing must get up right now. I want to see strength coming through in the next session. I do not want to see close below this, because then you're going back down into here. What level is that? About 222. And you're starting to really break all this good work you've done since the 5th of March. So you need nice bullish pressure coming through. I do not want it to go under the 258, 256 throughout the session. Daily close, ideally higher than this. Trend line's there. Good luck on GNUS. Can we see Tesla, says Comrade Stocks? We did do Tesla. We can have a look at it though. Do you want me to tell you where it's at? Really? We're going to have to get the literal fence out today, guys, because it's 599.55. No really strong level other than the 600 psychological. If this is closed below, you are going 550. It's almost a shoe in from a percentage of what happened last time. It will be like a flash kind of sell off in Tesla, and then we move possibly to that 460, 500 zone. So you really want it to hold 600. It looks mostly decline. I'm looking at the 1 hour 20 exponential moving average as the key resistance that I'm spotting. And if it does move up a little bit, I expect selling pressure to be here. And if we close above there, that's the first good bullish sign that you're going to see in the TA, because the TA is all negative and has been for quite a few days. I collect motorcycles losing money. That's right, Donkin Dave. Though some things have some interesting concepts of collectability, like cars have gone up a lot here in Australia. I'm sure they have in America. Earth Cruiser says if it's rare, it has value. It actually is more than that in collectibles. And it's the same thing with NFTs. Would a crypto punk be worth anything in the future if NFTs were a fad and they never came back? The answer is no. They're literally worthless, completely worthless. No one cares, because in the future, no one would care about them. Now, if NFTs became a massive thing over time, would a crypto punk be worth lots of money, being, the original gangster kind of thing? Yes, they would. In fact, they would go up as long as the relevancy is there. In collectibles or anything in life, it's about being the first thing, so therefore scarcity. Bitcoin is this. Bitcoin is literally this. Is it the best coin? No. We all know that. Anyone that's in crypto knows Bitcoin is not the best coin. It is semi-flawed technology, but it is the first coin, and it has inbuilt scarcity, and everyone knows what it is. It is the gold. It is the blue chip. It is everything. As these new technologies come out, as new altcoins come out and they make it even more relevant, even more useful, and it goes into Square and Tesla buy it and everyone goes through it, it becomes more and more and more relevant, which therefore increases the price of this original scarcity. Pokemon, PSA 1, Charizards are the exact same thing. They are the exact same thing. If you have a Pokemon PSA 1 Charizard, it is a huge amount of scarcity, a huge amount of relevancy. Pokemon Go, the game's still going. Nintendo's kept the franchise going through. If people weren't still relevant, if you just had nostalgia, they'd be worth nothing. if you had no Jake Paul or whatever he did with it when he opened them, I don't know which one of the Pauls opened it, but when that happened, look at the price, shot up 3 times over because it's still relevant. Relevant scarcity is key. Crypto kitties for the win. If crypto kitties move back up, it's the Red Bull of crypto. Can we get the TA on the Charizard? Oh, you can get the TA on the Charizard. It's really overpriced. Charizard was going to go down. I actually could show you how. Do you guys want me to show you? It's a bit of a... I know we're meant to be talking about stocks, but are you interested in having a look at something? I'll show you how you tell whether something is actually going to be worth it. Let me see if I can get the pop count. You're probably not interested in it, but you know what? I guess it's a stream of the community. We'll see what everyone thinks. Let me load this up. Okay. It's loading. Okay. All right. So this particular chart here pretty much tells you everything you need to know about whether something's going to be worth something. So notice here, you've got all your grade counts. So you've got your grade counts for all of the Charizards, all the first edition ones, the grades, everything. All that matters is this number here. And I'm not sure why that's so low. I think it should be higher than that. How many are there in the world that ever got this number? Now, if there's like 7,000 of them, then it's going to not be as worth as much. That's pure scarcity right there. That number is the only number that matters. How many are there of that particular one? Now, I think this is completely wrong because I believe there's more than that of the Charizards. But yeah, the scarcity here, whenever you're going into collectibles, know how many there are. Times that by how many people are out there that are interested in that product, and then you'll get the next kind of whether it's worth it or not. So yeah, I have garbage pail kids. Is that like some kind of Cabbage Patch Kids or something? I always find it like interesting with that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go into collectibles one day when it's more boring. We have things to talk about here. 59,000 for BTC. Ethereum, 1840, still looking really, really strong. XRP also moving up nicely, 58 cents almost there. XRP looking for the 60 today. Can it get through? Can it get through? For people asking about PLTR, go back about 20 minutes. I did it just 20 minutes ago. Derek, 4, millions of zeros, 4. Hong Kong, $25. Thank you so much for the donation. I think you missed it here, but then you've said, at FX Evolution, hello, Derek from Hong Kong here again. Hello, Derek. What are your thoughts on semiconductor sector and ASML specifically overextended? ASML, let's have a look. Go to the daily. Massive rebound, hey. Look at it go. Very strong from 5th. Is that extended? No, it's more of a V-shaped, very strong recovery. It's testing the previous resistance now and finding some level of support. Let's have a look if there's been a consistent moving average on the way up. Consistent moving average on the way up. I think it could come down a little bit further. Maybe it hits like a 2 hour here, 20. I don't really feel bearish on it, dude. Like everything here looks pretty good. I mean, it's made a new high. It moved up very aggressively with a couple of candles, maybe a little bit extended, and it comes down and hovers around this area before the next move up. But yeah, look, strong recovery, double bottom down here, which is great. Movement up, retest, finding some level of support. Higher, lows, all the way through. So all you really need is, as long as the troughs and the higher lows come through, it's all good. Just keep following it by the higher lows. That's what I would say there, Derek. Your other one is, what do I think of the semiconductor any particular semiconductor or the whole sector? Can I actually... I can't remember if this is... if this is the one that you'll want here or whether you'll want select sector, XLK. No, you won't want that. Semiconductor index, I think. Probably this one is what you want. Just give me the code next time. So that'll be a little bit easier, I guess. Support was found. Resistance is being found right now. Yeah, look, it is good. It's good. This is all in the structure. It's a much better sector than the rest of the market. Look for a closure above 3118. Then you can move towards the 3256 again. This is the exact thing that you want. But I will say I want it to close above here at some point. Like I don't want to keep hovering around this zone forever. Ideally, it moves through. It closes above here. And when it does that, I would expect new all-time highs for the sector. It looks good, strong, little bit of resistance coming through. If it fails here and it came back through on the low, I guess you would think that's a very bearish sign, but at this stage, there's no reason to think that's there. Thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate it. Tesla Toyota partnering, says Brent McLean. True? Is Coinbase safe, says number one draft pick XL. I think it's okay. What's that? Collectible cards. Yeah, they were collectible cards. I have some 90s Magic cards. Are they mint, Taxi? You need mint ones. Hopefully they are. Donation coming in here. Canadian, $10 from Naima Levert. Please, your opinion on the Airbnb. Oh, well, don't you worry. I have very good opinions on the Airbnb at this stage in the market. So it's down 0.47 today. Great day yesterday. We covered it on the channel. Great day yesterday, guys. Strong 182 finish. Did anyone get into this one? Anyone feeling the Airbnbs? So my opinion on this is, I had the search traffic up yesterday during the stream. Basically, I think that if you go to Google, you'll notice that the peak for March is much higher than 19. Don't worry about 20 because 20 is a write-off. We all know what happened during that year. It looks strong. The numbers look good. If anything is going on in America like it's going on here, which is people are literally booking everything and flying out of the city, trying to take their families out for vacations effectively in the country, I think Airbnb does very, very well from that fact. And I expect it to do quite well. The search is up. They only lost 30% on actual overall revenue last year, which is pretty amazing. So I think Airbnb is positioned well to take a huge share. At $100 billion valuation, they still also have room to grow. Technically, very, very strong into many areas. My target or my area from a TA perspective is around here at the 213, where that peak is. I like it. I like the consolidation. I like the bouncing. As long as it holds above 170, there's nothing really bad to say about Airbnb. If we go down to the 2 hours, it also had a great movement yesterday, flying above this area and closing. So this means that for now, on this time frame, the base is in, and any weakness, let's say down to like a 178 or a 180, should be met with buying pressure support. So I quite like the stock, and I do think it's at the right zone at this point, Naima. So good luck on that one. Cold Steel, US $10. Mind checking out ASO. Certainly will, Cold Steel. Thank you for the donation again. Airbnb should be sued for the breach of contract with owners. They stole my money, says S. Burgos. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I got into Airbnb, says Nicholas Bean. That's cool, man. Good work. Tom, have a good look at gold. It's melting. Oh, I saw it before. 1682. It is melting. We'll click that in 1 second. Yeah, so Airbnb is really a recovery play. I'm actually bullish on the tech for longer than the recovery play, but I think the sugar rush will come through. The earnings report will be slightly better than what the expectation is. Look at Google Trends. Do your own research on this type of stuff. think outside the box nowadays. Everyone can do fundamental research and go look at trends and all that kind of crap. What you want to be doing is you want to be thinking, the company, firstly, yes, it makes money. It does. Well, this one doesn't at this stage, but yeah, it's doing its thing. It's growing. It's doing these percentages. Then think outside the box. How do I find out if it's growing faster? There's this dude on Twitter. I might have to follow him and show you guys. He basically does something smart. He goes and looks at hiring reports before the earnings. He finds whether the company, based on the last couple of quarters, is hiring more people or less people. What does that tell us? It tells us instantaneously whether the company is got growing and has new things in the pile. That is not going to be in Wall Street's report figures. And it works pretty consistently. If you see new hirings, you have Google Trends going up for something like Airbnb. Let's just say that was there. You have crazy levels of support on the TA charts, because remember, it's all together. Don't be a hater on bringing it all together, because bringing it all together does pay. Then you're starting to present a picture. Plus, you've got your fundamentals looking okay as well. Hey, it's fun times. Think of it that way. It does make a lot of sense. Hirings, all of that stuff. Tyrone says, "How about some intro music?" All right. Well, because I'm ranting so much, I think we should do the intro music. Let's do it, guys. Then we'll do the donations. Then we'll get back into the market. It is fun times here for Tuesday. Hopefully we get a little bit of return here on the Nasdaq as well. At this stage, down 0.88%. Dollar index 93.20, just destroying gold. 16.82 on gold, and silver just hit 24 support. So it's right around that area. Let's get this ready. Are you guys ready for Tuesday? I certainly am. Do it. View on AMC, stuck between the 10 and 11, close under the 10 on a 4-hour. You're going to 9, close above the 11, you're going to 12. In the middle of nowhere at this stage. That's us recently. Hopefully this is you today. Could be the other way around, but hopefully this is you. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I am certainly feeling a little bit better about today after that. I'm always feeling better after that. Bradley back says it's a good time to check in on the channel. Welcome, Bradley. Welcome. Okay, Cold Steel wants us to look at ASO. Airbnb, we've seen the base formation on a significant enough time frame, such as the 2-hour. Now we need to continue a little bit up. Probably this is why it's selling off at this stage. A little bit of a trend line coming through. I could see it going back down to 178 and then putting further pressure on the upside. Look at the Google Trends. Look at the hiring sprees on these companies. If they're hiring out of their minds, you know that is always a good sign. Let's go here to ASO. Have a look at Academy, Sports and Outdoors, a recovery play, I would assume. What is going on? 26.75 up 10.22%. Wow, okay. Is it earnings report day? It is earnings report day. 30th of March. Period ending Jan, some recovery through this. Now 26.75, where is that? Well, lo and behold, it's right at the resistance. It's like the markets know exactly where to push it. Straight into the resistance. These wicks here, there's not much really to say about whether it's at a point of resistance, because it certainly is. Now it's going to need to hold it. Because it's already got a 10% move on it into resistance, you better be sure that that fundamental result is good. Otherwise, selling pressure will come back in, probably goes to like a 26 or a 25.50, and then might bounce through. Closure above this zone is going to trigger a 28, and then of course maybe even up to your 30, because 28 is the next resistance. But this zone is heavy selling pressure, you would generally think. So better be a damn good result, and 10% makes you think it is, but is it 10% good? I expect selling at the morning and then consolidation possibly through the day, closure above, move to the 28, closure above 28.30 for this one. Good luck, Cold Steel. Thank you for the donation. And it's right in at that resistance at this stage. Peculiar Glow. First time I've seen you here. US $2. May you look at the shop. Let's have a look at Shopify. Shopify. Oh, it looks hard. It looks really horrid on a chart when you think about that consolidation back down. It's like it was trying to bull and it just totally failed to do so. Makes you think, it makes you be scared of the Nasdaq in some ways. Look, Shopify is right in the structure. The worst that it should go from where I would expect heavier support buying is, of course, down here. Now, you're not going to want to hear $900 when it's at 1,030, but at least you know that there is strong support there. It's probably some kind of like monthly 20 that'll bounce off if it did happen. There's the monthly 20. That's going to be crazy zone if it does happen. What I like to do when I'm thinking about investing in these types of positions is I like to draw fibs. And I like to think, okay, on the last run up from the last low, and we'll call the pandemic the low, because I think that's what most people will draw fibs from, left to right, remember, are we in the zone of purchasability? And the purchasability zone is usually around 38.2 to 50 area. I've talked many times on the stream about how this is Tyrone and my area that we always look at on the charts. And we do this because it's just a very, very likely area for it to bounce. Now, a lot of people say, Tom, the golden fib, the golden ratio, we need to be at the 61.8. What are you talking about? The reason you don't want to be there is because if you're at the 61.8, the market's pulled back very heavily and the sentiment's incredibly negative. You ideally want the market to pull back, maybe even aggressively like it has here, bounce, and not kill sentiment too much. Already people are scared. Imagine down here how many people are really, really scared. So you want to be somewhere in this zone. I think it's the first area. It is bouncing a little bit. Continue to watch the 4-hour chart. See how here you've got these wick rejections yesterday. If you now close above 1,080, then you've kind of solidified that there was buying pressure here, there's buying pressure here, and the market says no to it being sold down. It says we want to move to the next level. We want to move up and through. So Peculiar, I think shop here is at support, but I would like many of these positions, for it to get above this 1,080 with a closure to really show the momentum is real. I don't know if I'd be picking the dip. I'd probably be picking the momentum in this case. Michael Braxton, US $5. Thoughts on AITX? Obviously my opinion, and you need to make your own decisions there. Thoughts on AITX? It's a previous price history. Seems crazy to me. Thanks either way. Thoughts on AITX? Artificial Intelligence Technologies. So it's split billions of times over. Whoa. It doesn't surprise. I don't know what's going on here. It's an OTC. But it doesn't surprise me that artificial intelligence stocks, or some of them, had very large prices originally. The reason why is it was a big pump and dump years ago. It's about investing at the right time in the right place for disruptive tech. Why has ARK been so successful? Because it started its fund with a great concept, and Kathy Wood knows this, with a great concept that what she believes is the best time for the disruptive tech to actually be, let's call it, solidified. It's kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now here to play the game. So in 2017, it was already getting to play the game, but this last pull, I believe this is a solidified Bitcoin, unless the government's hit it, as a legitimate asset class. And you can see that with the movements. Next time round, it will be even more legitimized. What happened with AI was it was incredibly cowboy. It was the beginning. It's like NFTs right now. No one really knew anything, and it wasn't time for it yet. Look, this particular chart's on support. It's on the 1-hour support. Do I like it here? Not really, because of this. I hate seeing a series of lower highs coming through into support. That makes me very nervous. I would like it to break through that convincingly for me, and I'd probably want it above the 0.12. So yeah, the chart looks insane. It may have been split a billion times. I don't know. But realistically, this support here is strong, but this price action coming into it is horrible. And it must be broken above before. You don't want to be buying down here. It's just a mistake most of the time from a TA perspective. Weakness. This is showing us weakness. Follow what the market's telling us. Horrible weakness there, Michael. Sam says, I'm late today. Hope I didn't miss too much. That's okay. I literally bought up crypto. I bought up NFTs and Charizard cards. So you didn't miss too much. If I'm talking about that, yeah. Earth Cruiser says, what are your thoughts on Square? Yeah, we'll have a look at that one. Looks like C3 AI. Most of them will look that way. Takula Kevin says, for Bitcoin BTC, bullish flag pattern with alpha at 54K. So 62, 63 by March 31st, and then 70 by 4th of April. Is that right? Wow, that's some very specific levels there from Takula Kevin. That is very specific. I like it a lot. Yeah, look, 60,000 should be hit today for BTC. You would think it's going to try for that movement. The bullish pressure here, the consolidation, the fact that it smells it. It's Sharknado 3. It's trying to get towards the 60. And then 62 will be the next kind of target. And then, of course, 65. You're saying 70. If it's I'll tell you what. I'll do something special in the stream. If we're 4th of April, if Bitcoin hits 70, I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be special in the stream. We'll do something fun. There is news on GME. Yes, that's right. New growth advisor from Amazon joining. That's correct. That is correct. That is real news that has come out, and it is moving the stocks. Thoughts on Square? Let's have a quick look because it's been a bit brutal here. Look, my thoughts on Square is it's right around the correct level for support. Pre-market here is 204, 1.2% down. It's been pretty strong around this $200. We noticed the first time in November, it found resistance there, then it found support around there, support around there, support around there. There has been a pretty consistent approach, though, to the $200. It doesn't hang around long. So it's been bang, 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 bang. So for Square really to solidify here, I think it needs to buy pretty aggressively, and I would like to see it back through this level fairly soon. So we go down to the 4 hour, go down to the 2 hour. We want to see it above 215, like a close above 215 pretty soon. And if it can do that, then it's kind of said, okay, yes, we've formed another base here, and then we can go back in the movement. But like any of these hyper stocks at the moment, they're all showing a series of lower highs coming into the sessions. Square looks better. Square's formed a base here before, and just like TDOC, it's right at the correct level. How the problem with TDOC is it's way more negative coming into it. The only person I feel that's buying this thing is maybe some people in the chat and Kathy Wood, because yeah, it's not many other people doing it. GME, people are going nuts. They love this Amazon news on GME. Let me have a look. Is it that good? 3.54%, 187.72. Look, we got the 200. We got to contend with the 200. You get through the resistance, then you can rocket ship in someone else's chat, because I probably won't be awake at that point. But you can rocket ship all the way through and feel great, because you get through 200, then you move 220, and then of course you go back to that 295 hopefully after that point. I mean, you've got your clear levels. You know where they are, guys. But 200 must be contended with. And that weakness here, once you get close above 200 on a 4 hour plus, then you know that the next level is possible. Welcome to the 1,731 people joining us for Tuesday Open. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing. We talk about it all here. We've gone and covered Tesla today. We've covered the dollar index. That's the story right now. 93.23 on the dollar index. Treasury yields are 1.76, up 2.29%. IWM, that's the Russell 2000, probably one of the things to watch, and also the FANG index. Lay 'em down records. Craze A730, that's a good name. US $4.99. CSCW is going off early. How will it do today? We looked at this one before. And will Microvision MVIS keep falling? If so, when to get back in? Keep up the great work. I'm 500 AMC in with the diamond hands. There we go. So laying down records. He's laying them down. He's laying down the smack talk, talking about those AMCs that he has with the diamond hands. CSCW. A few people asked me about this one already. So 226 actually is a new break high. Go out to the daily here to understand this chart better. So 2 is insane. Look, it's a gamble. There's no doubt, because you've got your supports and you've got to realize that it's a gamble. It's a pump and dump for sure. And the market capitalization dictates that. 38.6 million is very small. So 2 is huge. A closure above 2 is going to signal potentially even crazier levels, because where's the next target? I mean, there's so much crazy noise over here on the charts. I mean, is it $4? Is it $3? Use standard human psychology here. 3 and 4 are going to be the next targets, the next magnet zones for a stock like this. The other one you've got is MVIS. Let's have a quick look here. Microvision. I've also done this a few times. It's right on support, man. Like all of these stocks right now, they are horrible coming into it. Series of lower highs. I mean, they just do not look strong. You need turnarounds pretty much today on so many of these. I mean, there's your major support. Pre-market is 11.95, somewhere around 11.80. What is that? 11.70, $12 is going to be some form of support. But I like to see structure. That isn't structure. That's catching a falling knife. Let's get lightning bolt. Let's get double bottom, something like that around this level. We need more. Ethan Brown, CHF, $5. What are your thoughts on UAL? Let's go through these. United Airlines Holdings, so recovery play. Go to the weekly. Quite a lot of work to do, isn't it, to get back to where it was in February. So I'm not sure on their cash. You would want to do some fundamental analysis on this one as well. But your target is, look, 75 into the 79. Somewhere in there, you're going to find resistance. There are going to be sellers there for sure. You know this because there's already been sellers right around the level here, which is previous support back in 17. So it is acting technically from that standpoint. The recovery play will probably continuously play out. I also think every airline in America, if you look at bookings, you look at Google Trends on airlines, they are all incredibly strong positions for a trade. Guys, you know I hate airline stocks so much, with so much passion, because if they fall out of the sky, the risk is 30% to your stock. Just bang. One crashes, 30% off your stock, it's over, and the cash flow comes out of it. So they are recovery plays. I believe this could go somewhere around that 75.80. Obviously, that is kind of the resistance side. If we go down to the daily here, okay, go down to the 4 hour maybe. It's right around previous resistance, acting as support, bounced a little bit lower. So yeah, look, more recovery could be had here as people rotate into it, and there is some upside as a percentage. Good luck in that one, Ethan. Thank you for the donation. Michael Braxton, $5. Michael Braxton, $5. Thanks for the explanation. Love the streams and additional opinions. It's very good, Michael. Yeah, the community is pretty smart here. So there's plenty of great traders out there, great investors in the community. And what I like about everyone here in the chat is people are prepared to help each other. So it's really important that that does happen. I'm going to spam in the room quickly as well. Let me just quickly spam this in here. If you're interested in joining our public Discord community, obviously we have a private one as well where we do live hangouts. We've got like a trading competition. We've got all these types of things, those good things in the private community. Why not come into the public? I'll be restructuring the Discord community over the next couple of days to give even extra content to the public, guys, and just making it look more beautiful. If you have things that you think, Tom, I've seen this in a Discord community before. Guys, share it with me. If you like something that you've seen before, I'm not the biggest, I'm a bit boomer on the tech now, guys. I'm not what I used to be. So I'll be restructuring it, I think, in a much better way. But if you're an expert Discord person and you know best, and you can send me some pictures of things that you've seen set up, I'd love to make it even better. I'm always looking for that improvement. Paul Tigert says, silver looks like it's going to see the 23 range soon. We'll go over to silver and gold very, very shortly. James B, $2. Thoughts on LMND? Caught the knife at 115. Thanks. LMND. Lemonade. Haven't had this one on the chart for a while. Caught the knife. Oh, you caught the knife. 115 caught the knife. Oh, James. I'm sorry, man. And now 115's like that nasty area that you're like, oh, damn. Okay, so you caught the knife. Hopefully, next time, you only catch a little bit of knife and then you wait for market structure. If you're somebody that's like, I need the position, it's at my price. So say here, you're like, yes, I'm going to buy it. I was always going to buy it. I'm all in. Let's go. If you want to see more structure, why don't you just do it as a percentage? Maybe you go 1/3, maybe you go 1/5, maybe you go just a smaller amount. Then you get a little bit of a taste. But also you can wait for better structure potentially in the future. Have a plan around those things. Good news on Lemonade is it's right at the next level of support. Bad news is it's going to be probably quite hard for us to figure out when things... Actually, no, it's not. It's not going to be hard at all. We're going to know when things improve fairly easily using a trend line. So what I would probably be looking at is a break of 92 is what we want from a resistance side. When we get through there, then we're breaking the trend line, the downward slope, starting to put pressure on the 95, which is previous resistance. And of course, the King Kahuna double bottom would be if it got through about 115, where you have it. At that stage, you know the worst is over because that is a huge double bottom in this particular stock. Now, why? What is the trigger point? It kind of looks like what AMD could do soon, and we'll load up AMD and I'll show you, or what Tesla did. You had a massive support, and we called it on the channel. We talked about it. The community knew. The community said, Tom, the 800 on Tesla looks horrible. It did, because if it gets through a key zone, in this case 140, it's constantly putting pressure on it. Then it closes below, and it's the end. Look at the sell-off that occurs. So always be aware of the nice structure getting broken through, because when it happens, it gets pretty brutal. Look at the trend line here. Look at the support. Wait for more buying pressure, but it is at the right zone. I'm going to show you AMD. 76.67. So there's no thought for concern just yet. But take a look at this. We've got our trend line here for AMD. We know there's a double bottom potential in the future. What would happen, guys, if AMD closed below this 74? What would happen? Tell me right now what you think would happen based on this. This is a community chat. Chat's going to tell me where it's going. You tell me what's the price that AMD would go to. Do some TA with me right now. While you do that, I'm going to read out Mike D's donation. Mike D, Canadian, $5. Can you take a look at BlackBerry, please? I never thought we'd be talking about BlackBerry in 2021. BlackBerry, please. TSX BB, earnings today. Cheers. Certainly will, Mike. Hoz says, I'm tired of shorting Tesla. The falls are getting slow. Hoz is losing the faith here. There's going to be something else that dumps faster. NFTs in the future. That's probably going to dump like an absolute animal at some point. The problem is when. Catching the falling knife, I like it, says Ryan Kirk. You like the expression or catching the knives, man? Almost at 1,000 likes, says Tahil. Thank you for the support there. Here we go. We got levels. 55, 60, 55, 58, 55, 60. Rip. DOS just says it's going to die. 62. Yeah, so pretty much right on this 50. No one's saying 59. Why are you not saying 59? I think 60 is probably fair. But yeah, about 59, these wicks, 58, that kind of area in here. And why? Because, of course, we have wick rejections or wick resistances just below the 60 And if it gets through here, there is nothing holding AMD up. Look at it. It's massive rally. It will be massive dump. And it's kind of like that chart we saw before. And you think it can't happen because it's such a big company, such a blue chip stable. It can happen. It can happen. News on AMC GME, just so people know, because some people won't know by now. Something about Amazon director or something is now on the community and has been hired. Supposedly that's a hype thing. I think it's purely just hype speculation. What you need is the pure price action through the zones. Let's get above 200, then you can be talking about further spec. But it's really stuck between zones. So for AMC, $10 and $11 are key areas. Close above 11 moves to the 12. Close below 10 moves to the 9. It's pretty consistent with that. GME is going to be close above 200, moves to 220. Close above 220 moves to possibly even 295. And under the 173, back to 120 or 87. They're the areas that I'm looking at here. Mike D wants to look at BlackBerry. We've loaded up the SPX. So because we have the SPX on the chart, might as well say, chuck that trend line down. That thing is a boss trend line. Ain't no more bosses than that trend line. That's the final boss of the bulls and the bears. You should always have that one on the charts. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for the trend line because it's the best, bar none. Guys, how good is the trend line? People that have followed the channel for a while, is that trend line boss? I think it is. I think it is. Tell me right now. 920 here on the Blackberries, down 1.3%. Yeah, BlackBerry always seems to need rallies from GameStop. He got that rally. Now it's back down. It needs GameStop's power. So BlackBerry cannot hold with these squeezes, unless GameStop's going out of control. So it'll be timed with the GameStop move. It's on support. It could hover around here for a little while. Look, you can watch it at 908. 908, where's that put it? I'd probably want it to bounce above 908 today. I feel like it's over. But this is the last step. It's on support. There's just nothing else going for it. It has to have, it will only trigger if GameStop triggers. So watch GameStop and that's going to be the sentiment for BlackBerry. Sorry, man. I just don't see anything else. If it was a normal stock, I'd just say it's on support. Wait for consolidation. Walter Clinch, your thoughts on using fear greed indicators to size position, and what fear greed indicator would you use? E.g., put call ratio, PCC. Yeah, absolutely. So PCC is fine. You can use daily. We cover it on the channel when it's necessary to do so. I haven't covered it for a month, I think, because it's been in the middle of nowhere land. So you'll notice usually with PCC indicators, you only want to use them when they're down around here. So PCC, I would use it somewhere in this point. I start talking about 0.67. Most likely the put call ratio will hit this around the time the boss trend line gets hit. So puts will be out and calls will be in. It's good to use, and fear greed indicators do work, but they must be accompanied with strong TA, because it's pure, you're putting together the pieces of the puzzle. Think of it as like a giant napkin or a puzzle, and put call ratios are like this little portion here. Your TA might be like this little portion here. The random fake news media might be this little portion here. Hey, fake news media, you can actually use it. I'm going to call it fake news media, by the way, because I'm sick of them making crappy articles saying things like, oh, this is happening, or this value rotation is occurring, and they say go buy, like they're basically saying buy banks. Every time they post this stuff, guys, it's right at the end of the cycle. Of course, all the smart money's already made it. The guys on this channel, everybody else, we're all already seeing it, and then they're posting it for the general masses to come in and get obliterated. So yeah, I don't like that, and therefore I use it as a counter figure. What else have we got? We've got fundamentals that you want to be using, euphoric, PEs, that kind of stuff. But those things won't necessarily work that much. Fear greed indexes, probably just a slice of the pie. is the way that I look at them. PCC is good. You can also look up, I think it's the CNN Fear Greed Index. Speaking of fake news media, CNN Fear Greed Index. Let's have a look. This is just an index, so it doesn't really matter. Here we go. And this is actually not bad. So you can see a little bit of fear coming in. It has all the different things. So you got put call options, you got stock price breadth, pretty important. Breadth is good on recoveries. We actually saw really weak, horrible breadth last year for a point there. And then we actually have a fairly strong looking market. I'll explain it in a few moments. Yields, all of these. I actually don't like any of that stuff. All I do is go and look at this. So this is all of them together. And when you think about it, during traditional pullbacks that have been highly corrective, the market has usually recovered, gone down into that 30-20 area. So during a bigger pullback, somewhere in here, I like to start thinking about, hey, have I found support on the TA? Because if I found support on the TA and we've got the indicator saying extreme fear and everyone's fearful and scared, usually somewhere in this area here, you're going to see the turnaround. When everyone's fearful, you got to be greedy. Right now, hyper stonks, they're very fearful. Do we need to be greedy? It's hard to read off something like that indicator. It's not hard to read off something like that indicator. Thank you very much, Walter, for the donation. Stan Lee, US $5. Can you TA S-Bucks? Interesting that a lot of these stocks are coming through here. S-Bucks. This is Starbucks. The main bullish case here for Starbucks is probably going to be that not only do people feel okay about the world and everything's gone green, but I think it's more that actually a lot of coffee shops went bust. So if you have, in Australia, coffee shops didn't go bust because we gave them lots of money. In America, and you guys can tell me, Americans out there in the channel, do you know whether your coffee shops around you, did many of them go bust? Have they basically closed down? They weren't able to survive the pandemic? Are there more or less little coffee shops around you since the pandemic happened? What do you guys think? 420 Moto says Bitcoin. Yep, we've done Bitcoin a few times. 60,000 is the expectation. ACK says the fence is the boss. The fence is the boss. I want to have the answer here before I do the TA, but I will put down the trend line because there is a trend line. Strong trend line, nice movement up, looks pretty good. Go 4 hours here, big pin yesterday through the recovery, 0.49. I'm just looking at the trend line really. I don't really care about much else. Trend line up, continuous movement. Here we go. Busteroo says, yep. Busteroo says Alex. Donnie says less. Unlucky Gamer 69 says, as a Dutch person, I have a very different idea of a coffee shop. Yeah, those cookies are good over there. You know I'm half Dutch, Unlucky Gamer. In Canada, yes, says Javin. Rip Lucky in China. Not Luck in China. No, we're not talking about Luck in coffee. Could you look at the Phantom? I spend so much money at Starbucks. I live in Seattle. Basically, Starbucks left, no small shops left, says John Edwards. Exactly. Straight common sense coming through with the goods here on Starbucks as you know, why people have been purchasing it. Now, it's a little bit late in terms of if you were going to be looking at the recovery and thinking about it logically, but this is the type of thinking that I want people to start thinking about over the next decade. If you're going to beat Wall Street at their own game, you've got to think, hey, what do I see around me? Bustaramas coffee shops everywhere. Unfortunately, what's people going to do? They're going to go to the fast food outlets. They're going to go to Starbucks and buy the coffee. That's why it's going up. So the TA looks good for now, but that will change. People will open new businesses. They'll open this, and then Starbucks will decline. Alex Serpico says, oh my God, that is a great point. Some did, but they are reopening. Exactly, C. Brewer, and they will take a while to come online. But when they do, I'm not sure, but I'm not the biggest fan of the old Starbucks. Maybe you are, but I'm not the biggest fan of the flavor. But we are in Melbourne here in Australia, And I would say we're the most arrogant coffee drinkers there are probably on the earth. Stan Lee, I think it goes more than just TA, but yeah, TA is the trend line and continue the way up. It's the total boss, says somebody about that one. I love this one. That's good. Poke Serg, $2 US. Thoughts on ZUO? Thanks. ZUO. Zuora. A few people harassing me about the Bitcoin. All right, I'll do Bitcoin as quickly. Look, the Bitcoin is all good, guys. Things look okay. It wants to go towards the 60,000. It might have a little duck down here to 58 flat, 58.4. Probably be met by some buying pressure. Check out the 4-hour 20 as well. The 4-hour 20 is boss on Bitcoin. So even if it did come down further, 4-hour 20, it's got the 1, 2. You know what the 3 means. 1, 2, 3, go. So 60,000. Then once you get through 60,000, 62, and then so on and so forth. I actually think Ethereum looks pretty strong as well. So does DOT. ADA is just kind of hovering around, but had a decent close. Now back to ZUO. ZUO. 14.29 pre-market flat as attack. Yes. I don't have much to say. Look at the support that's happened before, though, around this 13.29. So you know where your support is. I'm concerned, though, if you ever closed under this support. That would be horrible. I'm not concerned if you break this high. What is that level? 15.21. So you're stuck in the middle of a range. Therefore, you can't really make a determination. If you're bullish on it, then you wait for it to go up here and you get very excited if a closure occurs after here, because then you'll be in what we call the participation phase of the market, and the participation phase can move towards 17. So I think above here, go towards 17. You're moving now to this level, and yesterday's price was okay. Things look pretty strong. Nothing wrong with it. Continue to follow it and check it out. Stan, $5.49. Hi, Tom. Really loving your streams. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great content. Can you have a look at FUR? It's listed in Amsterdam. Cheers. Fur. Is this like some kind of like bear skin kind of company? Industrial services oil field. Fur. Okay. It's not the bearskin company that I was scared of. 889 million in the market cap. You've got your support down through this kind of 830. I instantly draw it there, and I'm mostly doing it because of these body closes and the wicks. I don't care too much about that wick, but I also do like the fact that it found support. So even before this point, and if I didn't see that, I'd still draw it through this area here because it's the most, I don't know, I just always do it through that 20 where it is. I think about it logically. 840 makes a lot of sense. 816 doesn't make as much sense to me. It's found support. It's bounced up. It's not really doing anything. It's stuck within a zone. So where's your next target towards the bull side? You know where it is. It's going to be the $10. Where is the support? It's going to be around 842. Where is the critical? You must literally find huge amounts of buy pressure. About that 816. Price action on smaller time frames. Let's check out the 1 hour. 1 hour looks good. Back on previous resistances. Bang. Resistance, acting as support. I'd like to have a bounce through the session. Maybe if it closes here, tomorrow we get the bounce and the movement through. Stan. Thank you for the donation. All looks pretty good. Verified news. Dave, I think is your name. US $5. Hopefully I remembered. TYX looks like the uptrend is breaking. Treasuries are rallying. What's your take? A 6-month chart should show it. Yeah, a 6-month chart will show it. So let's load up treasuries here. There we are. This is what's knocking around. By the way, though, Nasdaq actually coming in strong. We're only 14 minutes off the market open, and Nasdaq's better than it was. I know 0.7% sounds bad, but it was about 0.96 before. So 0.7's better, and S&P 500 0.38. So this is the 10-year treasuries, guys. It's looking okay. Now, I'm not concerned until you get through 2 or 1.96, not 1.97, because I'll always stick to this, and I just want to cut through where people are concerned and what you need to be concerned about, not concerned about. After the GFC, the global financial crisis, back here 2008, it normalized incredibly quickly. It hit a resistance at 4, it then bounced down and it went back up. It's not unknown to go towards these levels, okay? It's not unknown. When it bounces hard, and it does so to reprice quickly. Now, it also bounces heaps and heaps of times throughout all of the periods. Where should we be concerned? Would we be like having 3%? That would be actually really bad because it's too fast, too quick. But I think this trend is inevitably going to end at the 1.96. I'm still not too concerned about it. It will put pressure on the NAS, but as long as the NAS holds in the range and just keeps hovering around, it just proves again that the market is like, yeah, we're getting used to this idea of 1.95%. A lot is priced into the market already. So the market already expected it to go back here. Wall Street people know how to read the old school. What they don't know right now is how to read Google Trends properly, how to use social arb concepts, the social arbitrage concepts, the concepts that are really being born out of communities like this, communities on YouTube, etc., etc. That's such an important concept. Charles Evans says, Tom purchased the Master Series. I assume that means the Masterclass. Thank you so much there, Charles. YouTube is having trouble with joining for your information. If you can RTX TA, I got you. YouTube is having trouble with joining. Not sure what you mean by that. Master Series. I assume you're talking about the course, but in terms of joining up, you should be fine. Just message me in Discord if you're having issues there, and I'll add you in. If you can have a look at RTX TA, that'll be good. Okay, let's have a look. RTX Rayathon, and then we'll get back through. Looks good. Looks good. Break of resistance, very strong. Only down 0.23 today. No problems with that. Good. Trough, peak, high trough, high peak, bounce off. It's nice. Looks good. Movement back up to 85 and then 90. It's pretty good. Not much else to say about that one. RTX looks all right on the charts. Time to be greedy in tech, says LL. Yeah, possibly. Rip Lucky. YouTube and Biden are coming after Tommy to trying to shut down his stream. Are we crashing again? Do we crash every single time? That sucks, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm going to contact my ISP. I'm sick of crashing around 12 o'clock. This sucks. Stupid Australia. Terrible internet. I'm going to buy the biggest one tomorrow. I'm going to do this. Lucic, $5. Thanks to the super chats. They helped me purchase crazy internet. Hi, Tom. I'm in BFT merging with PaySafe this week. Chart looks okay to me. What do you think? Let's do this one quickly, and then let's break down the pre-market because we are only 10 minutes away and I'm losing time. BFT merging with... Is this, just to quickly confirm, are we talking about... I can't remember which one's going with it. Can you please just message me, Lucic? I don't want to go through the wrong one there. Terry Chow, NT, $100. Coffee time. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate that. Next week, when we go through daylight savings, I'm going to be drinking coffee on the stream for sure. Cuban coffee is the best I've ever had, says Darby. Okay. I've tried Indonesian coffee. Yeah, it's okay, Terry. Not. I don't know if it's the best. Watch out for those possum ones. Nas is screwed, waiting for Wall Street to pump it, mate. Triple T rocks, US $5. Thank you, Tom. Gotta go to work now to make my poor people money. Then I'm going to put it on GME and NFTs. Lose it and continue the vicious cycle. Thanks and cheers. Well, thank you so much, Triple T rocks. I like your optimism there on your NFT positions. Well, don't worry, because right now GME is up 3.14%. So that is better. You're making some money as you're going into work. It's no better feeling, yeah? No better feeling. We'll break all of this down in just a few moments. I'll get that 4 screener up. We've got our Tesla. Oh, Tesla pre-603. We're missing out here. US 100, 12,895. Stronger recovery here, back to the 0.65. Do we have BFT equals PaySafe? Yeah, but is it the crypto that you're talking about or the stock? Oh, BFT is folly, thank God. Okay. There we go. There we go. Folly. Yes. Okay. How does it look like on the chart? So 2.73%. Thanks, guys. Yep, it looks fine. Nice. 4 hour. Nice. 2 hour. Yeah, cool. All right. So you've got your double bottom support in. It looks like you're going to close it today. 1579. Nice. That's going to be good. Yeah, look, I think everything points towards strong structure here on the right-hand side. See the double bottom, see the bottom, see the low, see all of the resistance that comes through, the beautiful little wick. Read the market, guys. Read the market. I like here. I like the story that's being told through the resistance, and I particularly like yesterday's movement because it came down and it did like a fake out, scared people, and then strongly rejected it. And when you have that, there's a secret tip if you ever go into the private Discord community. Read my secret tips on the left-hand side, wherever the hell I put them. And those areas, there's actually a secret tip there about double bottoms and what you should be looking at. I might not share it here. Maybe I will one day. You'll have to watch out. But yeah, this particular story is decent and pretty good. Good luck on that one. I like it. PaySafe is an Uber payment system, I believe. Lag, says Glenn Bear. Yeah, unfortunately, the lag is bad today. Did I get through all of these? I did. Terry, again, thank you so much. Lucic, thank you for the donation. And Triple T rocks, appreciate it. Okay, let's get ready. Let's get ready to rumble with the market. We are 7 minutes away here. Let's go through our pre-market checks. Costs looks to be up. Let me refresh this. SpaceX ship just crashed, says Colin. Is there one launched? I thought that was just the other day. I was watching it come back down. It's pretty cool. It did this little flip. Then it took off again and then blew up. 3.42% GameStop. Riot blockchain up off the Bitcoin information. 3.26%. AMC, pretty flat. Costs doing okay. On the downside, we have Palantir. I've mentioned, I think Palantir is incredibly neutral bearish right now. Once it got through that support, it was unfortunately not looking good. You needed above 24 again to really say, okay, yes, now we're back in the zone. And the rest of the crazy ones, that is what's happening. Let's go over to the real market and the biggest positions. Baidu. We really want to look at this on a chart. I think it's worthwhile. I'm going to load Baidu up in a few moments. Hershey, Okta, DocuSign, CrowdStrike continues its decline here. 1.5. Actually, where is CrowdStrike as a percentage? I haven't owned it in a little bit. 173. Wow, it's copping it. Teladoc still down 169. I'd like that to close at a 170 plus. Alibaba, Salesforce. So lots of the hypergrowth tech is down pre. But Tesla's still better than it was because it was trading at 598 before. Let me load the NAS here to give you my thought process on the Nasdaq. Probably the second most important chart. The most important chart right now is probably FANG. Continue to watch the FANG CFD or index if you can to see what's going on there. Here is a little bit of a rejection in the futures. We have our trend line. We have it all intersecting with 13,000. 13,000, 13,000, 13,000. Super important level. Closure above on a 4 hour, on a 2 hour, probably any time frame. Day traders are going to be going all crazy here and they're going to be trying to push it to the 13,176. If you get through the 13,176, you go towards the 13,300. Look then to the FANG to close above before the NAS will. And when that happens, then you know it's going to move through. This is a white screen, so I apologize for your eyes, but I just wanted to quickly show you here. This daily close above 45.20 is going to be the important part for FANG. That probably blinded a few people then. I apologize about that. Yeah, US 100, 13,000 remains strong, and big buying will be around that 12,750, 12,700 zone. Starship was terminated on re-entry, says Asane. Okay, SN11. Gotham says, Tom, no lag for me. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, I'm glad it's doing a little bit better there than it was. Where are we? Where the hell did I put my... Oh, there it is. There's my 4 screener. So we've got GME on the bottom left. We have 199, 173 as the main key levels, at least for now. We've got it trapped between that zone. AMC up the top left, you're trapped between 11 and 10. Closure either way exposes both $1 areas. And we're all eyes are set on the US 100 for the open. 3 minutes off, guys. Are you guys ready for today? Up, down. Give me your ideas on... We're not going to go with the Nasdaq up, down. I want to know... Actually, yeah, we probably will. No, let's go with up, down, S&P 500. In the ups and downs, are we going with red day or green day for the S&P 500? Give me your thoughts right now. If you want to, even guess the level it's going to close at. I've got my idea. Give it to me right now. DXY broke out. Yes, it did. 93.27. 93.27. So I do fully expect the DXY to now go back up to 94. As it forms in that structure, this is the dollar index we're talking about. I'll load it up quickly. We've got 3 minutes. I want to have that chart there. Oops. Oh, look at those 10 years. 10 years coming down there a little bit. Probably good for the NAS. So here is the dollar index. And I'm very, very happy with the community. We believed. And when did we start to go bullish on the dollar index? I want to show you, just to show the easy TA. This is E Street. Resistance was resistance above, closed above, retest, J-Power don't do nothing to this. And then now we move to the 93, now we move to the 94, and eventually possibly towards the 96 in what we call rationalization maybe. Here's the guesses coming through. Red, 4,000, Muhammad says, for the S&P 500. Fake snack day, says Jake. Okay, down then green for the day. Few Tesla still holding 600. Absolutely, that's very important. Red, 39.50 close. Michael Bibb says. Red, bear, 400 or 4,000, I guess it is. L-Dog, bloodbath. Okay. That's coming in from Johnny Knoxville. He's saying it's all bad. Oh, the rocket to Mars just crashed. Yeah, I heard that, Isaac. We'll have to look through it. Okay, we'll check that out in 1 minute because we are about to open the stock market here for Tuesday morning. We have our levels set. We are ready. GME, AMC, Diamond Hands. Get your Gorilla Ape things out, because you better hope for a strong 30 minutes through the session. Tesla, you almost need Diamond Hands today because that 600 is important. It's 15 seconds. I'll tell you what, just to make it better for you guys and better experience, I'll play the bell right now. Here we go. Because we are delayed here on YouTube. All right, happy opening there, guys. Here we go. We are off to the circus, or off to the casino of what the stock market's been recently. 603 here on Tesla, and a decent open here on US 100. Actually met by almost instant buying pressure. Pretty horrible sell-off here. Is that even refreshed? Why does my square show so much down? Is it actually down 3%? I'm not sure. I think that's wrong for square. Maybe it's not. So we've got here Teladocs opening at 168.32, down 1.76%. US 100's all over the place, bounced up, came back down. Tesla still holding the 603. GME pretty flat, or it's up 2.51, but pretty flat off the futures. And AMC actually down early. Bitcoin rallied slightly then, 59,146. I'm still expecting something like a 60,000 out of today. I'd hope to have that by some point in the later session. ADA.XRP, now dot's down. Dollar index, 93.26 still. Oh, and the square price was either, yeah, it was fake as a percentage. So 204 opens. I had a 3% down for some reason, but 1.39 now. Let us load the rest of the market. What is going on over here? Baidu up 2.46%. So people are seeing value on this one. And I can see why. A big margin call like that was designed specifically to steal money. Bad stocks for today: Twilio, CrowdStrike, DocuSign, all the favorites of the pandemic continue to get bashed up. Square also down, surprising really, because it's been doing okay with Bitcoin. Snowflake down 1.5%, Shopify, all of these ones down. Nvidia, Zoom, all of the hyper stonks down, and really Baidu seems to be the best. I'm actually interested to know where Airbnb is as well through this open. Let's have a quick look at some of the stocks. Oil as well. Look at the weekly rejections here. If you get another weekly rejection like this and follow through, oil will go up. We'll cover it on the channel. So if you're new here, definitely subscribe for that because it's going to be pretty good. Let's have a look. Airbnb 0.25 down. Okay. And the other one I wanted to check was AAPL. Down 1.17. All right. So US 100 is now down 0.85%, almost back to where the worst was during the futures. We'll have to see how this plays out over the next hour. Remember, the first hour, guys, is the retail hour. That is what it is. How do I get into the public Discord channel? Well, I will send you a link and you can jump in there. I'll be overhauling it a little bit tomorrow. That link should work and takes it there. Nasdaq is having a sale. Everything is half off, says John Sparrow from before. I like that one. Red, bloody red. Check silver. Yeah, we'll check silver. Here you go. So silver hits 24. That was the next target after we broke through. It's actually been an okay trade if you've been in it to the short side, because when you got through that 25, that second time, we knew it was going down here, especially underneath the 24.50. So 24 has been reached. That was the buy wick from before, back in January. Unfortunately for silver, it looks like maybe the worst times aren't over. It must strongly rebound today. Otherwise, I'm not even sure if 23 is a thing for silver. Like, I'm thinking 22 is the thing for silver. Back to the equilibrium of really where gold went as well. So 24, I would like to see it hold. If it doesn't, I could see some real brutality coming into the silver market. And that just shows how manipulated this is. Unfortunately, Tesla is getting belted right now, 597. For the bulls of Tesla, you need it to close the daily above 600 at all costs, because it already looks horrible on the chart. So it has to hold at least the psychological zone. Square down 1.29. Actually, Tesla is one of the worst performing, along with things like Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, those types of things. So Tesla is performing one of the worst here today. FANG holding. Let's quickly look up FANG. FANG's doing okay. It's fine. 4415. So the FANG index is all good. No real issues in this one. Is it down? Yeah, I mean 0.37. It's not much. So FANG is holding. I'm looking at this as my main, am I going to be scared or am I going to be feeling okay about the market? Now, if FANG gets underneath the 4.2, oh my goodness, it's bad. But I actually don't want it under 4.360 without strong rejections. So that's where I've got the level. Let me just load that. Bang. There we go. No underneath there. I'm going to put a damn fence underneath that. That's where the fence is going today, guys. We're not going under there. There we are. So the fence is down. Tesla will get up off the mat, says Harry. Yeah, it will. It's going to either want to take a lower mat or it'll get off it today and get back up above 600. So today's close is the key for the next movement on Tesla. We've got the fence down on the FANG. The FANG's getting the fence. I can't give the fence to Tesla because I don't really like the 600 right now. I don't really like the 600. I'm not giving the poor fence will not be subjected to such things. Let's look at PTON. Tommy says Johnny Knoxville. PTON, the old Peloton. Where's that now? Oh, it's still hovering. Okay. Stronger than I thought. 1.14% for Peloton. Good sign is that at least it is stronger than I thought. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Haven't looked at this stock in a while. I thought it got super overpriced. Not sure if there's a trend line there, but look, the big issue, not so much, there's no trend line, don't worry about that line. But yeah, there is a series of lower highs. It is putting pressure on the low. I would like it now to bounce, make a new high above 110, and then you can see it move towards the 120. I know there's quite a lot of people that are bullish on Peloton. Any interaction with the 98 zone, Johnny, I would like this to be met by instant wick rejections. Instant. Big wicks, big strong momentum. Charlie Brown, fence for the Fang, says Kevin. Exactly. Chronically Sam says, hey, the fence. Sam, I'll have to message you actually. How do I invest in the fence? Well, I'll have to message you about that, Sam. I don't mind about Tesla. They're kind of wild. That's only to be expected. It is a wild position there. It always has been with Tesla. PLTR breaking 21. Sad face. Look to 20 for that one. Thoughts on Disca Discovery Inc. Disca. Do I have any thoughts? Well, I think it was crazy. I don't even know how it got up here, actually. Wild craziness. Market open is good. Look, there is a play here because this attack was to blow. Somebody in Wall Street clearly knew. And they were like, hey, guys, we're gonna literally smash these guys and blow them up. What do you think? And they're like, okay, let's do it. Some bargains to be had on Baidu. You're getting December price. 240 most likely will be hit. But this actually is a giant head and shoulders. So you got to think it could be even further. Actually, is it a bargain? God, that's ridiculous. So this went from 150 up to 350. Typical of the Asian stocks. Anyone that's Asian would know. In Asia, when the Asian stocks get wild, they go crazy. That is actually incredibly ridiculous for how big a market capitalization it is. I'm not sure if I'm bullish on that, actually. I don't like that. Maybe it's bargain, but it also could be pretty bad. Peloton was a COVID stock. Yes, it was. However, there is a strong case to be said that there's further movement here. GME at 195. Let's go back through. Will that dollar index continue to bull? That's just putting too much pressure on the markets. Remember, dollar index bulling means risk off in the markets, and that's where that pressure is coming from. US 100 all around. Look, wow, that's a big fall that just happened then. Went down to 12,838, then bounced straight back up. It is all over the place. 598 for Tesla. GME going for the 200. So it's going for the 200 right now. Closure is key here. Look for the smallest time frame that it didn't close above 200. Try to look for those types of confirmations. All right, guys. Well, so that we can be here tomorrow, remember, these are the levels we've got for GME today. $200, 172 or 173 for the support. If it breaks either or, it's going to go to the next levels. We've talked about where they are. Can go back and scroll through. Tesla bulls, you need 600 to hold. Crazy Nasdaq bulls like us at the moment, we really don't want too much further downside pressure. I'd like to see a slight red day to green. My thought process is let's not go back to 12.8. Let's not go back to 12.8. But it looks like at the early stages, that is where we're going. Some good news. Strong support such as TDOC and Square have been met by a floor. So there is a bit of a fence there just because if they let them get any lower, it's going to be bedlam on the charts. The algos will get in. And remember, one of the reasons why these support resistances hold is because if you let it through the zone, the nasty algorithms of Wall Street all pile in and create flash crashes. Similar to what happened on Baidu, similar to what happened on Discovery. Those things happen due to algorithmic trading. Good news. Oh, look at 200's getting reached here. GME, the first resistance. It will go higher, but it needs to close to actually continue on. Close is the key. All right. Good luck, everybody. Gold traders, 1680 is your point. It needs to hold. Silver traders, 24. Hopefully it holds there for you. And we'll be making a video to discuss it all tomorrow on this channel. Goodbye, guys. Have a great night. Before you go, AMD, Tarek, I did AMD a few times. It looks fine. Just hold. Just literally just go to a daily, put a support there, and just hope that level holds, bro. If it closes below, problems. If it doesn't, it's all good. DAX supposedly ripping. That's cool. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm just reading the chat. Bye for now. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the memberships. And remember, if you're interested in any of our courses, check them out at fxevolution.com or in the links in the Discord community. Bye for now.